Welcome back, everybody. As we left off last week, a lot. As we left off last week, a lot. The first 4 episodes of the Age of Ashes epilogue have been nothing if not eventful. Extremely eventful. You fought off a strange demonic incursion at Citadel Altarian, admittedly at the loss of much of the castle so recently refurbished. Moved down to Breach Hill to fend off some kind of incredible divine storm of elements, and then battled the closest thing to an actual literal god that may be possible to even exist. At the end of all of it, somehow, by like 4 hit points in some cases,
I was doing way better this time, actually.
we're all still here.
Raisin over there wasn't, though.
Forever, apparently.
That's for chat. You're welcome.
But as we come back in today, the worst seems to be over. This manifestation of Dehak that descended from the heavens has been stricken down, and as its fallen body disappeared, disintegrating into ash as quickly as it arrived, so too did the dragon storm above begin to break. The whirling dark eye at its center fading, stars visible beyond, as the spiraling red and orange clouds started to thin and separate. The scene on the ground is still a degree of chaotic and difficult. There has been a lot of damage and a lot of loss, but nowhere near what it could have been. As we left off last week, Esvis had seemingly simply disappeared, yoinked, perhaps, out of existence, away into the theoretical great beyond. And before we get into today's episode, I want to take a moment to thank, as always, our great partners of the show, our sponsors that help us keep everything going. Arkin Forge, a virtual tabletop / map making software for a hybrid table setup like we have here. The digital monitor serving as a tabletop face. And Eldritch Foundry now for the fine custom miniatures that we put upon it. This music and background sound you're hearing now, as always, is from Sirenscape.
That is the razzest thing
He's
that's
got
ever happened.
he's got little rat hands. He can't help himself. He just can't hold the dice. They're so heavy.
Okay, the North Sounder dice are very heavy, but also very durable. So even if you drop them on the floor,
they're beefy.
they're okay.
They're very beefy. Those dice, those Norse Foundry dice, also our longest partner and the one who has absolutely blanketed our tables in really, honestly, fantastic metal dice you can drop all over the floor. And the only real danger is hurting your toesies.
Oh, yeah.
They're girthy.
Ouchies.
But as we start off today here in Monument Circle at Breach Hill, immediately as Esvis is yoinked off into the sky, Resme, Rasheen, Buddy, Valentina, all standing there, somewhat in disbelief, with Zurich, the blue dragon, still laying out, fairly injured, but mostly healed up from your efforts on the side of the circle. Miravel had just taken off to go do something, and, well, now there's one less of you here all of a sudden.
However, it's not that much longer until that trap that had closed around Esvis reappears and opens, and there's Calidar standing there like, oh, hey, boys, what you guys doing? Oh, you look rough. You look like you got in a good scrap.
Hey, Calidar.
You couldn't have picked a better time, honestly, to take a break, to be honest with you.
Well, I had some things to do.
It's nice to see you again.
It's nice to see you all as well.
Esvis gave us the lowdown. It's good to have you. Any friend of Esvis's is a friend of ours.
Oh, yeah, Esvis is a good guy. Real solid dude.
Hot swapping with Esvis. I couldn't think of a better work partner.
We've been working together for, an age. Yeah.
That's awkward.
That doesn't seem likely. Esvis was just walking around with Resme not too long ago.
Oh, yeah. Time works different where I'm from.
I've heard about things like that. Yes, indeed. Let me check on him over there. Rasheen's going to stretch to her feet. Actually, Miravel soothes, helping tremendously.
She had healed you and Resme with a lot of what she had before she scurried off.
And she'll kind of limp over to Zurich and give him a nod. I'm going to take a peek at that thing. You felt a pull on it, you said. It's just drawing you here.
This is the most logical thing I can imagine. As I set its thoughts in my mind.
Rasheen will put her hand on the sliver in his chest and just kind of feel at it.
As you touch it, you see a brief glimpse, a flash, almost as if your mind was transported somewhere else for a brief moment. Give me a will save.
Do I need to make one too?
Are you also walking?
I'm in her head. That's why I was asking.
No, you're not one brain.
Status.
No, but I was just checking.
Right, no, you're good,
we're
you're
touching, so.
Okay. So I still have heroism up and I'd still be in major curse. So got my bonuses. All right, cool.
Gotta
get those wheels right.
Align your wheels.
So that's a nat 20 for a 54.
Have we opened every episode with a nat 20?
Seems like
I think
it,
almost
man.
every episode has been a nat 20 off the bat.
No stranger to mental strain.
No, I mean, this is, of all the people that this could happen to, you were the most used to it.
I just Ivelin Ward myself like 30 seconds ago. I'm
you
good.
Ivelin Ward yourself. You've had, nightmare midnight tea time with your mom on multiple occasions. Rasheen's not new to this. It's the thing that happens. You would see a scene that I have actually described to you before. It was a long time ago. A flash of a visage, a draconic face wreathed in smoke, surrounded by flames and an overwhelming heat. And even with your natural 20, you feel the weight of this replace your bless with a bane from Saiyan Fox 10.
Oh, wow.
Fate twists around
It's
to
only fair.
conspire
I'm playing
against
with it
you.
hard enough, so.
But you see what would be unbeknownst to Rasheen, the exact same specter Buddy had seen nearly a year ago in the Cinderclaw Fortress. You now are much more powerful than Buddy was then, and again, much more adept at managing these things. So you don't have any direct ill effects from it, but it is a moment of unsettling, a brief flash, just an instant before you're back to reality.
You see that face too, Zarich? We'll get to the bottom of it. We'll get it taken care of.
That face. That specter is the visage of a true god. Not this thing that has emerged from a cloud with the seat of real power.
And these shavings have been drifting down on us, and that dragon was the biggest one there was yet. Almost too much for us.
Yeah, I should catch you up.
Oh, I was watching.
You were?
It's a thing. Me and Esvis, we got a little connection.
About at that point, you would see another figure hurrying over toward Monument Circle that Resme and Rasheen, at least, would be more than familiar with. And why don't you go ahead and introduce your character here, as we have not met him yet in the epilogue.
I'm Raz. I'm a Yosoki ratfolk. He's about 3 foot tall, all leg. If you ever seen a kangaroo rat, that's what he looks like. It's very slim, short furred, very long legs, and he is on all fours running towards. He has his nice big hat secured to his head. He is covered in pages of just ripped out pages from books, tomes, scrolls. And as he is running, Miss Rasheen, Miss Resme, I'm sorry I couldn't help. There were things to do, children to save. I saw it all.
And while we're here, why don't we briefly go around and just give a quick recap of who our characters are, Resme and Rasheen, that he's meeting with. We'll just go left to right for convenience sake.
Baroness Resme, Galadriman,
Technically correct.
Which is the most right kind of correct.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am a mostly elf, female, about 5'6", with long red hair, always dressed magnificently, covered head to toe in magical items and rings.
So many.
So many. And generally with her chin held very high.
This party picture is the greatest thing I've ever seen.
That's about right.
Little rat.
So good.
Raz is a beautiful boy, okay?
Fetch Raz.
Rasheen?
Rasheen, Battle Oracle of Milani, carrying steel and sword as well as cursed magic against the foes of liberty. And at the moment is looking horrendously bedraggled, borne down under the weight of her curse, and certainly a fair amount of injury, even despite the previous attempts.
And Calidar real quick. Just to...
Yeah, so Calidar is, he's a elfish kind of guy. Big old beautiful mustache, and he wears some very dark armor, and yeah, he's just a friendly guy from on a mission from God, you know.
Aren't we all?
Aren't we all?
There's a weird amount of that going around in this party.
You guys are on a real mission now.
So, as Raz approaches the group, go ahead. Oh, and Rasheen, take a bless from Haven the Oracle.
Thank you, Haven. You gave it to me last time.
He's putting it back.
He's putting it back now.
Raz, I don't know whether or not you've heard, but Tyrannus was killed in the assault on the Citadel. But we're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it. Yeah.
Like dead? Like dead? No, come back. Rasheen can do that. She can bring people back. She did it to me twice.
Oh no, bud, this one's not coming back.
What do you mean?
Well, the reason I'm here and Esvis ain't is because he's got a mission from God. He gets to escort his first soul as a psychopomp there. So he's gonna be off doing that for a while, yeah. Sorry to break some bad news for you, but
why wouldn't Tyrannus want to come back?
Oh, it's not about want. Some things are just fated to be that way, eh?
But that's what it's supposed to do. That's what the ritual does, right? Right, Rasheen? Like that's what it's for. Like, isn't that right?
Pharasma can interdict it.
But you said we could bring him back.
We could try, but if he's slated by the psychopomps, there's nothing we can do.
I can't deal with this right now.
Sorry. There.
Miss Rasheen, can you tell me how he died?
What?
Well,
He was in the fight with a great pile of animated corpses, fighting off the blades they wielded. almost to the power of their hatred. I could think of something more poetic.
No. Tell me how exactly it happened, word for word.
It exploded.
Oh, it exploded. Perfect.
I can't be around this right now. I'm gonna go check on some people in the village. Please don't talk about it while I'm here.
Yes, of course. Go ahead, dear.
Right.
Roshin's gonna slip the gemmed ring off her finger, so Resme isn't in her head as she goes off. Just a moment. And she'll fish into her pocket and pull out a piece of black stone with a rune inscribed on it. Marcus, you there?
You would hear his voice. It's not a super powerful artifact, so it takes a few seconds, and it's almost faint from the distance to the Citadel. Aye? What word from the town?
It's a mess, but secured. We managed to get most of the people underground before that thing came down.
You could see that beast from here. I'd hope to salvage some of our siege, to train on it from the Citadel. We had the range, but given the damage...
It might be coming back, possibly stronger. We should try to repair as much siege as possible. It's in preparation.
How much time do we have?
It's unclear. But more than last time.
We can establish a temporary line on the edge of the hilltop. Something with enough range and reach to see out over Breach Hill should the target that large emerge once more.
Give me an estimate of costs. I'll cover it, whatever it is.
We haven't yet had time to turn to costs of equipment. As things seem to have quieted and the storm seems to have parted. We're counting the fallen.
We know at least of one.
Aye. Keep in touch and focus. There's no way of knowing this is truly over. Stay sharp.
Of course, sir. We'll be in contact. Marcus, managing the defenses of the Citadel. He led the men bravely. They were terribly overmatched. It was a slaughter. But the Citadel was still safe, even if the walls fell down.
That's good. What exactly happened in this Citadel?
You saw the storm in the sky, yes? It started over the Citadel. Apparently it's a tear in the barriers. Dahak, the actual god Dahak, he could pour his influence down through it and attempted to raise everything down to the ground. The Citadel was under siege by terrors and monsters. We fought them off.
Naturally, you're heroes. That's what you do.
You're with us, Raz. Don't forget, you were with us actually quite a ways. You're a Sunblade of Katapesh too, believe it or not.
I don't need that title, but...
Why, you write everything else down?
Yes. Or everything about you and her and Mr. Marshall. Oh, by the way, hi, I'm Raz. Who are you?
Oh, hey, how you doing? My name's Calidar.
Calidar. That's why I couldn't. That's a weird name to say. I couldn't pick it up. I couldn't read the lips.
Calidar, is it? Okay, no, that's fine.
It's a weird one. It's not as easy as Raz or Resme or Rasheen.
Sure. You're the expert. He is actually. He's quite good at it.
Oh yeah, it doesn't start with an R there, bud. So yeah, it sounds like it might be difficult for you.
Oh, I bet you that's it. I bet you that's it.
Our names are easy.
God dang it. All right, you got me.
Dang it, he's right. Oh, I can't argue with that. I can break it back.
Mental damage.
It's nice to meet you. I didn't actually see him in a lot of the fights. When did he get here? Where's the other elf that was with you?
He's hot swapping with Esvis. Esvis has to get called back, and he's given something of an honor guard for the fallen.
Esvis, the one that Resme said died?
Correct, yes.
Some things don't always stay dead there, bud.
Oh yeah, I know that.
But some things do stay dead because they gotta.
That is a very sad fact of life too. Okay, let me get this right. So something happened, storm came, Breach Hill got sieged by Dragon God.
Citadel first, Breach Hill later after we fought the siege off. The cloud drifted down here, dropping fire and burn and acid and all that.
Speaking of that fire there, bud, we got some people putting them fires out.
Yes. Actually, Miss Gardania is surprisingly efficient at organizing people and collecting taxes.
You need good people like that, yeah?
Do we, though?
Well, you know.
She's good at organizing a bucket brigade. I'll give her that. But then down to the city, great deal of damage, and dropped a couple of really nasty demons outside. Actually, we managed to pull them down too. Oh, Sal Sartad was on the other side. It landed right on top of his cart, and it just exploded immediately.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh, not the card exploding, the demons and Salsard.
Well, the whole thing really at all went up in flames.
It's a shame. It was a cool card.
Sal was doing fine. Huh?
It's a very neat card he had.
Yes, but from what I've understood, something tells me he won't have too much trouble replacing it. Or he might actually have a great deal of trouble replacing it, but he'll manage nonetheless.
He's like a pack rat.
Oh, that's quite ironic coming from you there, bud.
I'm not a pack rat.
Well, you're packing a lot of papers.
Oh,
there,
you should see my brother Azel. He's very good at packing paper. He can get 5 times this amount of paper in the same amount of space.
Well, that's impressive there, bud. That's pretty special.
I've actually stopped wanting to let him get a hold of books. He'll just rip the pages out absent-mindedly, and it just, you never would be able to tell. Except for this last book, he just couldn't take his eyes off of it, so I just sort of gave it to him.
Oh, yeah, but I don't read Rat.
This is Noel. Sorry.
I don't read that neither there, bud.
Okay, so you talked to Mirabelle, right?
She was nice enough to stop by and check on us. I take it you were imagining keeping the rain of fire off of the schoolhouse.
Yes.
You're actually quite well suited for it.
Yeah. I have a tunnel underneath the schoolhouse now, by the way.
I can't fault the utility of it.
Yeah. It's only big enough for kids to fit through, though.
You might want to work on that.
I'm as big as a kid.
Yes, you still might want to work on it, but... Oh, yes, that's the other thing. Mirabeau was suggesting that this very well might be coming back in a bit. So we're going to need to go do something about that.
So, I know I made a stink about Treagle's note and Treagle and everything he said being wrong because everything he said is wrong because he's a bad, bad man. But he was right.
Yeah.
Everything he said is right.
I have to say, the evidence does sort of back it up. Yeah, so Calidar, the villain that we fought, leader of the slavery unit across the entire of Avitistan, we went and hunted him down, destroyed his entire organization. He had some notes. We didn't like him very much, but we took him out, destroyed the entire organization, brought his body back to Breach Hill, and he's actually entombed in that mausoleum down there on the corner. Oh. But yeah, he had a bunch of notes talking about this whole thing. It really sounded insane when you were reading off a piece of paper, but I have to say it actually has kind of all pieced together right about now.
I looked over them once, and I have them kind of memorized.
Maybe we should kind of bring him with us, or did you rip him up into little pieces? Okay, they're just smaller pieces. That's fine. That's fine. We can work with this. Do you remember which piece goes with which piece?
Oh, that's page 7.
It says 2.2 on it.
That's page 7. This is... No.
Maybe we'll put this together when we have some time.
Oh, actually, if I remember them right, they're in this book. He just hands you this big book.
Yes, I remember this book. Yes, I quite remember. We did go over how much this book was actually worth if we sold it, right?
A lot of money, yes.
You still are insisted on keeping the darn thing.
Treagle's notes are in there.
Treagle's notes are in the book. Okay, Treagle's notes are in the book. We're going to go ahead and look up those. Treagle's notes are in the book.
And as soon as you open it, it's blank.
Yes, of course. It makes perfect sense. Yes, I can see Treagle's notes. They're right there.
They're right there. Like the notes, I can see them.
Oh, you can see them.
You
write them in lemon juice, did you?
I
did that when I was in school.
I did that too when I was in school. No,
you didn't go to the same school as me. It was in Cantargo.
Meanwhile, Resume, where have you gone?
Resume is very much in a fog and isn't thinking too hard about much of anything right now. She's going to dimension door back to the Citadel.
Okay.
And she's just going to kind of walk around the walls, looking at the destruction, kind of nodding to herself. And as she walks around the walls, she's going to start incanting. And at first, the words don't make any sense. But then they get louder. And she starts building on something. And it's almost like a song, but it's in no language that has ever been written. It's almost like a dream. And as she starts incanting, the words start becoming a wish. And she wishes that the Citadel had remained standing, that the wall had not fallen, that everything could at least look like it was the way she remembered it. So for a moment, she could forget everything that had happened within. And as she wishes, her magic will start to feed into it more and more and more until a halo of magic surrounds her that's visible from out where they are, a mile away. And she doesn't even know what the point of the wish is. She's not even sure why she's doing it. She just knows she wants everything to go back to the way it was. And for the first time, Resme is going to cast a 10th level spell. She's going to cast Wish. And she's going to wish that her Citadel looked like it did even a day before, that everything could at least look like it was the same.
And as this corona of magic emanates out above the Citadel, you are pacing on the outside here, a voice of surprise. Pine, Abadar, all the gods. I recognize Valia, who looks like she had... You're quiet, and had heard you out around and had come out to investigate. And as you came around the southern side of the castle here, you look back at this voice. You see that southern rampart that had come down, that had crumbled in that final assault. It's still pretty heavily damaged. It's still run through with cracks and rents. Bricks still scatter across the ground outside, but it stands. It stands back tall, the rampart intact, the ballista set up upon it, pointed out to the skies and the hills around Breach Hill. Was that you, Baroness Gladderman?
Well, I guess so.
Unbelievable.
I didn't know I could do that.
And Valia kind of walks up and reaches out with her good hand and sort of touches the wall. This is an illusion of sorts. It's a truly powerful one, but I get the feeling that's not what it is. That's...
I wouldn't overthink it. It's magic.
Well, it's magic, of course. Magic still very much follows rules. And you, I'm sure, know that more than most.
Sometimes.
It seems almost like it's gone back through time. Like it was just at the beginning of the storm.
Valia, sometimes rules were made to be broken.
Oh, no, not with magic. No, breaking rules with magic has never ended well. Not once in all of the various studies or courses, treatises that I have looked through. That's what leads to Tarp of On. That's what leads to the World Wound. That's what leads to very possibly, well, today. But...
Maybe. It feels good, though. Like I could fix something.
I'd say very well fixed a lot of things. I saw what happened when we all came back up from Alcida's ring. Had you not been here, had your friends not been here, not one of us would be alive to speak of it. We couldn't have fought that off.
I know.
Myself or your Castellan, your Seneschal, they would have held for moments at best. This is something different.
Thanks, Valia. You always make me feel better.
You're very welcome, Baroness. She looks confused.
You make me feel like some things don't change, and that's a very good thing.
She just puts a hand on your shoulder. Just
I
kind
know.
of gently pats.
Yeah.
Anytime, Baroness.
Is there somebody? Let me help somebody do something. I don't want to think right now. I have to keep moving.
Well, of course, there's a lot to be done. There's Solimar, Castellan Solimar is in the courtyard dealing with the aftermath, but, well, we've been trying to clear the rubble from a few of the hallways to make the area safer and a bit more passable. No one has had time to check back down to Alcida's ring. I was thinking that might be prudent.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, I'll lead the way. Meanwhile, back in Monument Circle, as Raz is finished explaining his magical book of everything.
Right then. So regardless, you have Triegel's notes written down. That's probably for the best. We need to go to reach it, and I think we're going to need to go to Promise.
Yes.
Promise apparently is this hidden city, by the way, locked away somewhere extra-dimensional or possibly somewhere hidden on this world. It doesn't matter. We have a portal that should be able to take us
Maybe
there.
a society trick, Raz. Rat who knows things.
Ooh, guess who's legendary in society now?
I'm not surprised.
I'm 19 on the die, so that's
50?
52.
Nice.
52. Yeah, you know that Promise. You would definitely be familiar with an isle known as Hermea, far out in the waters to the west of the Inner Sea region, and its only real settlement, the City of Promise. I know we've spoke of this some amount before, but just for everyone here and also everyone there, a quick recap of what you would know. It is an isolated settlement, a very closed society that has little to no interaction with the outside world. It is possibly one of the most secular settlements to exist on the face of Galarian. And it is ruled over by an ancient golden dragon named Menkare. Now, anything beyond that, you would probably be unfamiliar with, as there is only so much there is to know from the outside world. They share almost nothing. But you would probably have heard some accounts from those rare folk that had immigrated out from Promise back into the world. There's only been maybe a dozen ever in history that you were aware of. But they have no real vow of silence. There is nothing stopping them from speaking much of the city. But they all universally choose not to. It doesn't seem to be out of fear or anything. It's just that even those who left have a great respect for Menkare, his city, and his people. And they respect his privacy and his secrecy enough, even after expatriating, not to share that with the outside world. What little there would be would paint it as an incredible city of culture and science and magic, of paragons living united under the will of a benevolent dragon with thousands of years to have honed his craft.
So it's a very real city in a very real location. If you want a map, just open my bag and start digging. Here's a map.
I should hope it's a real city. I'm planning on going there.
And as I pull out the map, a little rat is on top. I lay the map on the ground. The rat rolls it out for me. Oh, thank you, Mataz. It's right. See the speck right there? that speck right there. To the left of that, there's the island with the city.
To the left of that, where there is no speck.
Yes.
Right.
It's a very big, zoomed out map.
Just to remind you did just tell me this was a real place.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
You want a magnifying glass?
You would also know it's not that small.
It's a big map.
That's fair. It's not like where Hermea is this super secret knowledge, but like you can't really go there. It is in kind of the middle of the ocean. It's not easy to get to. And there have been few that have had the urge to try, and even those that have found themselves turned away. Not violently, because, after meeting the things that turned them away, none of them decided to escalate violence.
His ironclad destroyer rolls out of the mist.
Just a modern battle.
Yeah, exactly. Would you care to leave, please?
It's got speakers.
Just megaphone. Attention!
Scram.
You are in Hermaean waters.
I would also like it noted, your little tiny rat was called Mataz? Did I miss that?
Yeah, this is. Oh, I forgot to introduce. This is King Mataz. It's
good to meet you, your sire.
the rat stands up. Mataz stands up on his hindquarters and does a little bow. It's Mira's pet rat, but he's taken a fond attachment to me. Can't get rid of him. He follows me everywhere. It's kind of annoying. I don't know how y'all deal with it. Anyways,
Well, he doesn't follow me around.
What, a rat following us around? Yeah, must be terrible.
You get used to it, I'd imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Yosoki, not a rat, but yes, you get used to it.
What? You're so...
I'm.
Oh, no, I wasn't talking about
You're
you.
talking about.
no,
You're
but-
always talking about.
No,
Anyways,
bud.
Always talking about you. That's some ego you got there. You still haven't calmed down from that yet.
anyways, I guess your next step is promise, huh?
We'd better go. If there's ever going to be anything we can find. Unfortunately, that sliver of gold in Zert's chest over there.
I was so enamored by talking to you, Mr. Rasheen. I didn't even see the whole dragon in front of me. Hi, I'm Raz.
He's much smaller than the last one.
He's a lot bigger than me. It's nice to meet you. What's your name?
I just introduced you.
Is that a sliver of the
Yes, that's a sliver of the orb of dragon
orb of
kind.
dragon kind?
That's
Yes,
the one,
I knew that. I knew exactly about that. I told you all about that. I'm glad you memorized something.
You know what? You said it often over and over again. It's stuck in my head somehow.
Is there further need to continue gawking?
Is he always this grumpy?
Mostly.
You're kind of grumpy. Is that just a personality trait? It's okay. I met a lot
Roshi's just
of
going
grumpy
to
people.
step about 5 feet away from Raz, just outside of convenient
Does-
lightning blast range.
Calidar does the exact same in the other direction.
Does that hurt? The gold shard in your chest. Does it hurt? Does it throb? Does it pulse? Do you hear voices?
He sees visions too.
Yes.
We just had a discussion about it.
Interesting.
Oh, hey, bud. Does he ever talk slower
Your
there? bud?
face
Okay.
is different from theirs. This is a look of recognition. You know what this is.
Oh,
Not
yes.
just at a glance. You understand this shard.
Oh, fundamentally, yeah. I don't exactly know how it works. I've never actually seen a real one in life, but I studied them. You know about the Dragon Plague of Calidar, right? I assume he does.
Why would this concern me?
Well, it involved a orb just similar to that, trying to control dragons, and it all went wrong. All the chromatic dragons and all the metallic dragons. The metallic dragons went evil.
If the Cinder Claws thought to control me with a shard of glass, they are fools!
Well, they are fools. They didn't control you, obviously. You're here, not there. Where's the Cinder Claws?
They're all dead.
Oh, they're all dead. That explains why they can't control
Oh, yeah,
you.
but they got canceled, I heard.
I am the last of their number. Zurich, fell dragon of the Wongi Expanse and last of the true Cinder Claw Order.
That's a good title.
I think you should write it down there, bud.
You're not going to be last of Heroes of Breach Hill if I'm around.
Narset sought to stand against me and imbued this thing into my body.
I would like to take a closer. I'm just going to walk up to him. I'm not even going to ask or do permission. Just get very close to him. Get very close to the orb and examine it. I'm sure he's already been told everything Rasheen knows about it.
Just letting you know, I'm out of magic, Raz. I spent it all in the last fight, so just, be careful.
Oh, he's a nice dragon. He won't hurt me.
You go up and look it over. What? This is very much an arcane fragment. What is your arcana?
My arcana is at 20. It's trained, so it's at 26. But I'm going to use my bardic lore.
Okay.
And
that's fair.
Yeah, and as I'm using it, just a portal kind of opens up above Raz, and a whole book falls out of it in his hands.
And he immediately tears it to shreds.
And he just opens it up to a page, and it's just a page on dragon orbs. Vague, but a page on dragon orbs. I'm using an expenditure of Pocket Library.
Okay.
Get a +4.
Okay. So what's your modifier on the Bardic Lore?
It's 28 plus 4, 32.
32. All right, so as you look this over, so this is the first time you have seen one proper. This is almost beyond doubt a shard of the true orb of Gold Dragon kind. The original artifact from Talnor that was wielded in the dragon against the dragons in those ancient wars. This shard still holds an impressive fragment of the power of that artifact. But as you assess it, that's not all that it is. There is almost a presence, a shadow, lingering over this that seems to have been infused into it. A shadow that you can tell is slowly seeping into Zurich.
Right, I wouldn't touch that shard, by the way. It's got something nasty in it.
Oh, it's got something absolutely horrible. It's consuming him. Well, seeping into him, which I can only assume leads to consuming him. Normally, when shadows seep into you, they take over your personality, and you're no longer you. They consume you. That thing is very bad. You thought about getting rid of it?
You see how it is embedded? I cannot imagine its removal would leave me alive.
Wait, you actually said that, so it's not just a security measure or a ward or something. It's actually a foul presence trying to move in.
Oh, yeah. Very foul. Very bad. I don't know anything about removing those. I don't think I could remove that. I don't think you can remove that. I don't think Rasheen can remove that. It's... How? What did they do? How did they do it? It's insane.
Narset turned my people, my followers, my faithful, against me. Bound me in the skull of Dayhawk deep within the jungle, and infused this into my chest in a ritual with her high priests.
Oh, it sounds like they
Specifics
thought they
elude
was
me.
on a mission from God.
Well, that mission didn't work out too well for him.
Oh, it was a bad mission.
Everyone on the mission from the Hawk has failed miserably.
But the gods, perhaps. We have no knowledge. We don't even know how it was placed precisely. We don't know how to take it out. But perhaps. Perhaps I'm out of magic. But perhaps... Rasheen's going to get down on a knee and clasp her hands. Milani, kind and wise. Bring your strength, lend it to me for this one last thing. Guide my hand, that we may save our ally who came to us in our time of need. And she'll just repeat this chant over and over and over and over again. And the wounds that she have are going to almost seem to boil as kind of red briars almost grow out and twist to kind of stitch them closed. And the symbol on her cloak and tabard are going to almost glow, the flower almost blooming as it draws nourishment from the blood in the street. And she's going to cast Miracle with my my brand new level 10 spell slot to stop this poison from harming our ally. Save Zurich's soul.
And to add on to that,
You don't get to add on to my miracle.
to add on to that, Raz is going to pull his quill out, open his book. He's like, I've seen this story. I've read this story. The story's right here in this book. I'm going to erase this line, erase this line, erase this line, add this line, and maybe, I'm going to cast Alter Reality as my 10th level spell.
Anyone else got any 10th level?
I got an 18th level trap I can throw at him. If that'll work.
A particularly spiky bear trap. Put that one in there too. Lower into this.
It's an engulfing snare. It'll be a nice little hug.
If you kill him with the stare, I'll take him to Pharasma, and then maybe Pharasma can fix it.
Rasheen, make me a counteract check alongside your miracle.
It's pretty good. That's a 50.
50. And Rez, make me an occultism check.
Occultism check. I'm going to use one of these nice, cool hero points. I wish I knew.
I think you got a stack of those.
I wish I knew who it was from. Thank you.
It's in Buddy's notes.
It's in Buddy's notes, but thank you so kindly, all of you, the whole chat.
It's a safe bet. It's
Kaga.
It's either Kaga or Maverick X29. They've been doing like table rounds.
Yeah.
It's way better. So that is a 46.
46. With your two incredibly powerful spells here, Roshin's prayers and Raz's whatever Raz is doing.
Rewriting
Editing.
reality.
He's editing.
Just editing. Raz is editing. This shard has been embedded in Zurich's chest, and you've seen, even through his scales, these thick veins, clearly pumped full of gold, winding up around his chest, around his torso, and over his shoulders, under his forearms. Those start to fade. The physical presence of them is still there, but the golden color starts to fade out, leaving them a pale, almost whitish blue. As Raz, with your incantation, as you were studying and working to this shard, you segment this presence. You place almost a divide, a force that separates Zurich from whatever darkness is inside of this. Your spell with 46 on occultism, certainly more powerful than the divine ritual Narset had led a year ago. And by your powers combined, it's still in his chest, but you don't feel much of that shadow within the shard anymore. It feels more pure and whole, and it doesn't seem to be ravaging Zurich's body any longer.
Would it be fair to call the force that is separating the presences in Zurich's body a force wall, perhaps? I don't know. It's kind of Raz's signature move, I've heard.
He's forcing it.
I had to walk real far for that joke. Come on, give it to me.
You need to go a distance. The speed 50 helped you out a lot there.
All right. Okay. It's a nice prayer. Hopefully that holds. I'll look into it. I think I can figure it out. And I've seen his face, and I know his name. I can call Dream Council with him. I can talk to him anytime I want. I can talk to you anytime I want. Well, anytime you want me to talk to you.
I don't feel it anymore.
That's a good sign.
Then it seems that
That power that's withdrawn. My mind is my own. Very well. I am impressed with the depth of your magics. They're much greater than I've come to expect of mortal kind.
to be fair, Milani was backing me up. But Zurich, last of the Cinder Claws, blue terror of the Mwangi Expanse. You've crossed half of Avestan to come and aid us in our time of need. We're forever in your debt.
Well, we may count to ourselves among the lucky legends of your human histories. Those fortunate enough to have been saved by dragonkind.
That's actually a very small number.
Imagine so.
Infinitesimally so.
It's a good word.
That's a big word. I don't know what that means.
You may, if you desire our hospitality, you may stay. You'll be as long as you like. Or you may return to your domains, or wherever you wish. I doubt anyone will stop you.
The worst of my wounds have been healed, but this battle tires me. And the flight to my lair is long and far. Where did that Buford go?
Likely to look after his family. But
And his
I recall him.
and his donkey.
I recall him saying something about
Spreads his wings and just
offering you space in his barn. He did say that. Oh, Buford.
He seemed less grumpy.
Meanwhile, up at Citadel, Altarian. Meanwhile, at Alcetta's Ring, as Resme and Valia make their way back downstairs, the scene is interesting. It's certainly not as if nothing had ever happened. The great amount of the mosaic tiles across the floor are charred, cracked, and sundered. Several of the statues around the central fountain have had limbs blasted off. The statue of Yulrol has been broken off at its knees entirely. Her figure toppled backwards into the fountain itself. The walls have splashed scars from the gouts of acid that had sprayed forth from the storm. But outside of this physical damage, it's the same quiet and almost serene, near silent chamber it's always been. The damage is perhaps less than you would expect. The statues being the exception, exposed figures in the center of the room, but most of the damage to the tiles and the walls seems to be surface level. Mainly just cosmetic at worst. Notably, the stones of the 5 standing portal faces are almost unmarred, save for the passageway to Vengegate itself, which bears a thin but long crack near corner to corner. Well, it certainly held up better than I expected it to.
Well, let's see just how well Revelum Magicum detect magic.
With your incantations woven, you sense the same incredible aura of conjurative power that Alcetta's Ring has always held. No more and no less. Well, save for one fluctuation. The energy around and over Vengegate itself seems different. It seems almost open, as if it would be possible to tease out the magic of the portal, perhaps even without the key. It's primed, for lack of a better word.
Huh. That's odd.
What is it?
So Vengegate, it seems open. From a magical perspective, at any rate, it's almost like it's beckoning us forward.
Well, based on what happened the last time the gate was opened, I don't much like the sound of that. Do you think it's dangerous?
Of course it's dangerous. Everything we do is dangerous.
Truer words have barely been spoken, I suppose.
I'm sure.
Just kind of reaches and stretches her wooden hand.
I'm sure the chances of us perishing a horrible death go up by large percentages every time we get anywhere.
This path that you and Miss Rasheen and Raz walk is certainly a committed one, if nothing else.
harem?
Never thought I'd say this, but perhaps Master Emberbeard may have been the wisest among you, simply retiring to run a Catapeshi arena.
You know what? I would take a Catapeshi arena over what we're about to do.
Certainly seems less dangerous.
She'll pour magic into the crack. She'll try a 6th level casting of mending to see if she can close the crack.
Your spell with the 6th level magic does easily stitch together the surface of the stone. The faces of the portals on the whole are just rocks, after all. And as quickly as that, the crack is gone.
It's so strange. I would have expected it to damage the magic, but it hasn't. This portal is so powerful. I don't understand.
I have a theory, perhaps, but it's conjecture at best. This energy, whatever it was that poured forth from Vengegate when it was opened, has been welling up in this space between spaces for only the gods truly know how long. Very possibly almost as long as Citadel Ring has been here, thousands of years. It may at some level have come attuned to the energy of the ring itself. This damage here, you saw what happened to the Citadel and what happened to Breach Hill below. The damage to this chamber is nothing. Superficial and barely that.
Yes. Perhaps you're right.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
It's a thing. It's a thing we have to deal with at any rate.
Do you mean to open the portal again?
We have to. We have to go and see what the old golden-eyed codger has in store for us.
I'm sorry, who?
The gold dragon, Menkare.
The esoteric Lord of Promise, as it is. I wish I had more information to help you, but regardless of how much dragons may have been my area of study, given, I don't think there's much to learn about him.
Come hang out with Raz for a while. You'll learn far more than you want to.
Yeah, the guy's a bit of a nerd.
You're not going alone, are you? It seems like many of your friends are committed to staying here and defending their home. You don't think Buford intends to follow you, nor it seems Valentina.
Honestly, I want Rasheen with me. She's my sister. I wouldn't go anywhere without her. And Raz would be very helpful too. Raz is a good friend and he knows a lot about where we're going, and Esvis sent us Calidar. It would be rude to not include him in the fun.
I may know little of Esvis or Calidar, Baroness, but admittedly, I've only known you, Miss Rasheen, and Sir Raz for a few months, but I have no doubt that they would follow you through whatever insane portal you saw fit to open.
I know.
Wouldn't be the first time either, or the second, or even the third.
It really is a burden to be this pretty.
Not exactly the way I would have phrased it, but
Well,
Rude.
you know, you take what you can get.
oh, I mean this is no slight. It's just your
I know.
power is exponentially beyond a pretty face, Baroness.
And my taste in men is horrible.
If only I had my book. I'm not.
Awful. Yeah.
And she just kind of. You see her hand up instinctively go to her side.
No, it's all right. I'm playing with you.
Sure how to respond to that. I apologize.
It's okay. Let's now that we've seen that the gate is still standing, and in fact in better form than we could have ever possibly imagined, I want to see to Breach Hill for a minute. I want to try to help them get it back. And
Let me interject once, if you will forgive this.
of course,
You have seen to Breach Hill. You need to see to your bed. You need rest. regardless of what tomorrow will bring, you'll be no good to anyone at your wits' end and exhausted. Vernus, come. There's little more we can do here now.
I'll close my eyes for a couple of hours. I need very little sleep with the Dreamstone.
As not your seneschal, but a friend, you can take as many hours as you need. But please, I insist.
Okay. If you say so.
Back in town, as this weight of exhaustion and resume seems to manifest almost in her mind as a dark personal rain cloud in her mind of a bane. I didn't say it, a Sane 221 did.
I love you, Sane. You're the best.
Take a bane.
I should probably just leave the skull and the die out.
It seems like we should just have like a flip card or something now.
I imagine that in town, much the same would be coming for the group of you. It is late, after all, and while Calidar probably feels fine,
Quite peachy, y'all.
Rasheen and Rez are certainly exhausted. It has been an afternoon. As the sky now is just scattered clouds and stars twinkling bright overhead. A cold winter night, that between the chill and the hour, that exhaustion really starts to catch up with you.
Well, buddies, you're looking pretty tired, Derek. You got some beds?
I forgot how cold it actually gets in Breach Hill.
Oh no, this is quite peachy.
Oh, you should consider some armor. It really insulates you nicely.
That's very heavy as well.
Oh, I come from the great cold. This is nothing.
I came from the great desert where it is very hot.
Yeah, I always wondered why on earth you wanted to come back up here with us. You must be freezing.
It's beautiful scenery, good
actually
company.
It actually is quite pretty.
Looking
nice
around, there's
forest
just
over
burnt
there.
rooftops everywhere, like charred trees and some
Well, the
collapsed
mountains.
buildings.
If you look a little higher.
Needs a bit of spring cleaning, but it'll be nice.
I don't know if I can walk all the way back up.
Oh, don't
To
worry
the
about it. I'll give you a piggyback ride there,
I
eh?
think part of my schoolhouse is still standing. I used the wall of force to support it so it didn't fall completely. Like a
You
little.
put it under the roof.
Yeah.
Would have put it on top of the roof to keep it from burning?
Well,
in
it
the
was
first
already
place?
on fire, kind of. I put it out.
Raz, asleep at the switch. We have to stop by Caden's keg or where it used to be. I have to get my movable rod back. You reminded me.
The one door frame. The movable rod stands in the middle.
The door frame's not even there. It's just the rod
all
hanging in the middle of the
You collect your immovable rod, and the group of you find places to go and rest for the evening. A more well-deserved rest. Certainly nowhere to be found anywhere in the whole of Galarian this evening.
Just dig a hole.
Rez digs a hole.
Dig a tunnel, dig.
For the first time ever, Rasheen is just straight snoring. She's so exhausted.
Rasheen is zonked. She looks like she is levels of out that shouldn't be physically possible. Resme, nice and comfy in her fine manner near Citadel Altarian, and Rez in a hole somewhere.
Calidar wanders off into the woods for a while.
Calidar just kind of disappears.
No, doesn't kind of. Literally.
Calidar disappears. He's probably somewhere.
As he's wandering off, he just speaks, whoop, and he literally disappears.
That night, I imagine that all of you would be sleeping heavier than you have slept in possibly ever.
Roshin's not going to wake up unless someone literally stabs her.
Well,
Asking ye shall receive with the bane.
Bane, you get stabbed. Very bad Bane. You wake up with a pain in your side and realize you got a stab. We're like, those damn cut person.
Oh, he stole my lungs.
I just stole my lungs.
You would sleep a little less well than you think. I imagine a combination of your curse and just the injuries you've sustained, healed or no, would leave the pursuit of true comfort perhaps a fool's errand. You would wake up a few times a little bit too warm. One time, very much too warm. And as you go to adjust yourself and reach for a blanket that isn't even there, you feel a sense of familiarity. A heat that should be overbearing, almost to the point of pain. But it's not. It's oddly comforting.
Oh.
The bed beneath you now is somehow a flat surface of warm stone.
It's been some time.
The environs lit by a familiar red glow. You see the great caldera, a pool of lava that was Strymalura's lair, deep beneath Sagarok. The strange realm of dreams where you had met with your mother so many times before.
Well, fair enough, I suppose. And or she's just looking around and just looking for her. Is she around?
You don't immediately see her.
Huh.
And again, that's not entirely unusual. She usually does arrive fairly shortly after you awaken.
Well, Rasheen will kind of get up and stretch a bit and just walk to the edge of the lava and look around, and just sort of lounge at the edge of the pool and kind of just dip a toe into the lava, swirl it around a bit, and just watch the patterns. It just kind of almost in a surreal sort of. Yeah, this makes sense.
It's definitely a strange experience.
I've done this before in dreams.
As you reach down, your toe in the lava, swirling it a bit. It's interesting how the magma moves. It's not water. It's very much not. It's almost a solid, even as it bubbles. And where your foot drags, it's almost like stretching the surface of rubber, like a wake that just persists. But as you drag around a bit, the color of the lava around your foot starts to lighten. It starts to, at first, what seems glow a little brighter. But that's not what's actually happening. That's just the first interpretation your eyes give you as the red and orange glow starts to become a little bit more yellow. And it starts to disperse in a waving extension throughout the surface, almost like yellowed tendrils reaching across the surface of the pool.
She'll pull her foot out and kind of roll onto her chest and just kind of lay on the side of it and just kind of watch it interestedly.
At the center of this, we would first touched, the lava begins to dip and pull apart, opening to a strange void. What looks almost like a flat plane of sheer black. It can't be darkness. Lava itself emits light. But whatever it is only a few inches below the surface.
And she'll just kind of reach out and just kind of dip a finger down into it.
When your finger passes through it, and immediately this warmth, this heat, turns to a frigid cold where your finger intersects with the plane. As you pull it back, a figure starts to rise up from it. Long, white hair, pale skin, and angled features, with long, pointed, telltale ears of an elf. Garbed in a black, buttoned robe, a familiar face simply rises up from this. His eyes closed for a moment, almost as if asleep. The face of Omereth, this strange connection that you have met a few times before now.
Sir Omereth.
Astounding. It worked.
Deliberately then.
Question. Did you
Answer.
open the last gate of Alcida's Ring?
Not yet, but we plan to. No, I take that back. We absolutely did. We didn't go through it yet, though. Quite a lot of pent-up energy came out. Caused a mess.
He raises a thumb to the side of his chin. Almost in thought for a moment. Theory. Whatever passageway enables transportation from one gate to the other is connected nearly to everything. A wider nexus of planes than originally anticipated. Your connection, however brief, with the final one has allowed a transcendence of sorts.
You could call it that. Shadows of a dark god spreading destruction over, well, whatever it could get its claws into before we managed to break it apart.
Something emerged.
Oh, quite so, I'm afraid.
Did you arrive here? And he turns and just kind of gestures out to the pool of lava. Intentionally? Is this your work, or were you simply called here?
I'm not positive, actually.
Further question. Do you recognize this place?
Ah, indeed. I met my mother here, Tamati. I noticed you banished her to the plane to the dark between stars. Any chance she could make her way out of that?
I'm not sure that's possible.
Oh, poor dear.
Currently, her connection to you is the bridge I'm able to use to arrive here, to make any contact.
Well, presumably she must still be somewhere then if you're able to set foot on that and walk the bridge on the journey, correct?
Her energy, perhaps.
Oh.
Your mother is a very useful tool via her connection to you, the closest anyone, save myself, may have into your very mind. Your tenebrous connection to the mortal plane, the material realm. So, a further theory. If you were to enter this final gate and find a way to link it through to this transitory passage, whatever it uses for its method of teleportation, I may be able to manifest properly. You might be able to bring me home.
Is that where you're trying to get to?
That's all I've been after. I have spent centuries searching through the libraries of the greatest realms of Carcosa, trying to find any information whatsoever about how to leave it. But it is a very detached realm, a plane, a secure one. Both ways, it turns out. Cities come into the patchwork, unwilling, at the behest of the Stella, but none have ever left.
The first to escape the time between space and the space between time, then.
I imagine it wouldn't be far beyond me, not with the resources I have. If it's possible, I believe it's something we can do.
Could I help? Do you need any action from me aside from simply opening the path for you?
A simple request. Ensure the ring remains functional. Not let it get destroyed, and if there is some strange presence in this between realm, it may need to be removed.
Almost assuredly there is. There seems to be a terrible pattern about that.
Can you access it? This transitory plane?
Well, of course, we do it regularly to move between all the other baits. Unless you're talking about something aside from just the way stations.
I've done a bunch of research about Alcida's ring. It was created by a man named Candelarin, an interesting and eccentric sort. As far as I can tell, he is the closest to the inventor of teleportation that may exist.
Ken Lauren.
Candelarin.
Oh, Can Lauren. Yes, that sounds more elfish, yes.
Candelarin sought to connect 2 points in space on the material plane and found it difficult. So he enabled them to attach via these extra-dimensional way stations. The way stations are not of what I speak. I speak of the matter and the materia you pass through between portal and way station, between way station and portal.
It sort of manifests as more of a mist. Is that what you're talking about? The connection is brief only, although I suppose I could try to linger longer if that's what you're looking for.
But it is a mist that you can see.
Well, it's a mist that obscures vision. I'm not sure if I could see it. I imagine that'd be a sort of discussion that Resme could have about,
Theory. Your very proximity may have allowed you to tap into a degree of its power. So much so that all 5 seats at the table will receive a hero point from Kaga the Loon, a man of science so wild he fears not whatever this connection may be, nor the presence within it.
Oh boy.
And wishes to attach another reroll to each and every one of you, including Valentina's empty chair.
The man is wise and powerful.
She will be back. She will get to use that. And thank you.
No, if I
again
did,
for your
Rasheen was
support.
really tired.
Well, if you can ensure that Alcida's ring remains functional, you can find a way to access the transitory plane, and perhaps you can remove whatever presence lurks within. I may be able to find a way through via that. The same way, as a matter of fact. Whatever is trying to fill this plane, I think may have come to the idea that I have had sooner than me.
I imagine whatever this thing is, if it is what I think it is, it's probably had much more time to ponder on it than you have, even though time is probably different for the both of you.
The connection of time between Carcosa and any other realm is difficult to predict, difficult to tell.
Harold said the same thing.
How long has it been since our last meeting?
Oh, maybe a month or two.
It has been 357 days, 5 months. Or 357 years, 5 months, and 3 days.
Well, you look spectacular.
God, your dad is so hot.
Super hot.
Aging is no longer something I'm concerned with. This mortal body is but a shell.
Well, I suppose if you have to be stuck somewhere for effective centuries on end, you pick a good body for it.
Fortunately, a lot of this work had been done for me, and though at the time it was foisted upon me against my will, this undead form does give me a near permanence.
So once back home, what you're planning on doing about it then? Looking into the place, seeing how it's changed. It'd probably be more similar than you remember.
Truth be told, I don't know.
Ustalov, right? The place you asked me not to go to.
Indeed. Hustalov is a dangerous place, but I see no need to return there in particular. No, I seek Absalom. There is an artifact there I'm interested in.
Not the Star Stone, is it?
You know of it?
No, it's the most famous artifact of the entirety of Avestan. You really going for it, are you?
I have resources at my disposal that are unimaginable. Truth be told, I even have difficulty truly grasping the raw amount of information and power available within this strange patchwork. So, one last theory. If I could reach Absalom, I could become a god. If you could help me, I could take you with me.
Yeah, certainly is something to do after I go and save the world one more time. You looking for a deific herald, are you?
My time here has taught me many things, but one of them is that deities, so as they are not omniscient nor immortal, nor indestructible. I have slain one.
Yeah,
I was unable to do it alone at the time, but I did absorb a fair amount of its essence. I carry the spark of divinity, something many who have attempted the test of the Starstone in the past have lacked.
Your dad's so weird.
But hot. So.
If you have a spark of divinity, what do you mean? Does the Starstone give you more? I suppose it does. No, of course it would. Yomade was herald of Aradin, and yes, no, I remember him telling about that, and then, yes, no, actually, no, you're right. I think you're spot on. In fact, actually, I think it'd probably be appropriate, all things considered, what the tests would be.
Holds out a hand and seems to focus. And up from this darkness below, you see a few thin, fibrous yellow tendrils, almost like hairs. They wind up towards his hand and start to weave and intertwine together. And as they do, almost starting to braid automatically into a twined rope, you see small bulbs start to form across it. Bulbs that are a pale yellow, like diseased flesh, that grow and widen before splitting across their middle and opening as eyes. I can see a great amount from Carcosa.
It matches the color of mine.
That they do. Why my power has called to you is still unknown to me. One of a great many mysteries that the cosmos seems to hold. But it seems fated that you will aid me in my ascent, and in return you will be rewarded. So.
Oh, it's hard to argue with it. Sounds like an equitable deal. A fine way to retire after all this.
He lets this rope just drop back into the abyss. When last I slew a god, I did it with a party at my side. You will be my party this time.
As the strands drop, Rasheen's arm will kind of dash out and kind of catch a bit of it between her fingers. And she'll let it writhe in there a bit before kind of feeling the texture and letting it go. I can work with that.
As you pull your hand back, there is even a bit of a yellow fine dust, almost like a floury powder on your fingers where you had touched this rope. And that is very interesting indeed.
It's sort of an ultimate decay. I've never seen anything quite like it.
You'll find it's much the opposite, actually. This is the very essence of growth and evolution.
Let's see what it can evolve then. I can work with this.
You can touch it, and you don't seem to have been driven mad.
Hard to tell how far along I am, I suppose.
Hope you're not allergic to pollen.
But I'm... I have a terrible history with that.
She starts sneezing.
Fortitude save. It's... I'm no stranger to mental strain.
A concession on my part. I do apologize for the state that your mother has been reduced to, but it is necessary.
I feel partially responsible, but I suppose it's nothing that a newly minted god wouldn't be able to do something about, I'd imagine.
She meant nothing good for you. You must know that. She saw you as a tool.
Yes. She was my mother. I mean, yes, she was a bad mother. But she knew she was a bad mother. And she really did. You know, I feel that she was doing the best she could.
Do you know much of Drow society, Rasheen?
Much of what?
Drow.
Not a thing,
To say I
actually.
grew up in Ustalov is perhaps inaccurate. I was raised beneath it, dark lands far below.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. So,
Drow boy.
like Calidar underneath. But
Much deeper.
Oh, all right then.
Suffice to say, I've never truly understood why many folk place such value on the bonds of family, but I'm not one to question it. It's in many times of true testing been a source of great power. We'll meet again, I hope. Open the portal, see if you can access this transitional plane, see what you can do.
We'll clear it out and, sure thing. I'll reach out
You
for
could do
you.
a great lot of good for this world, Rasheen. I've no interest in Galarian, truth be told. At the end, little even for the material plane. You could do with it as you will.
Wow.
You laugh. Is this doubt?
No,
or-
it's just fascinating to hear someone talk about doing great good when they have no concept of the virtues of familial bonds. Perhaps you've spent far too much time in Carcosa, or perhaps the Drow are a terrible place to live. I know nothing about them.
Then a concession further. I will admit, perhaps morality has started to escape me in recent centuries.
Well, if you're looking to check morality, just ask me.
I would serve as a poor ruler for Galarian or for any other world. You would do much better.
We'll see how it works out. Honestly, I've seen a lot of people try to rule things.
You need not rule it directly.
Yeah, it's much better just to let people kind of work out things for themselves and just step in where
This
needed.
would be a boon for us both.
I think
You,
we'll work it out, yes.
I
think we'll work it out.
imagine, have a good soul, a conscience. You speak of morality as an authority. There are a great number of evils in the world that you could stand against. Troubles and pains that you could leave.
It's what I've certainly done with my entire life.
Well, then people that you could help. I have no interest in that, but having a hand on Rovgug's prison would give me weight at the deific table, so to speak.
That's true. We'll see where it takes us. I find the agreement certainly better to have than not. We'll go god-making after this is all over and done with.
Very well. Till next we meet, then, Rasheen.
Lord Ormarath.
I quite like that title. Never considered I had much interest in a name, but I can see why people value them.
It's spectacular, actually. It has a great weight of respect to it, but without actually tying to anything particular and specific. I thought it particularly fitting for you.
And your Umar doesn't leave, he doesn't sink. Your vision just kind of starts to fade, not to black, but almost to a yellow fog, first creeping at the ends and then taking you entirely, and the next you know, you've awoken proper in the morning, back in your bed.
And she'll just hold her fingers in front of her eyes and just kind of play with that light dusting of yellow.
You would still have it on your fingers.
And just kind of just hold it like this and think about it.
I think it is there. We'll take our break for the afternoon.
Good scene. That was fun.
We're going to stand up,
You don't even know.
stretch our
That was so
legs,
much fun to watch.
grab some snacks, and get some drinks, and we'll come back with the day after here in Breachell. Thank you for hanging out, everyone. Thanks for following along in our journeys. Don't go too far. We're back in about 10 minutes to continue the Age of Ashes epilogue and this quest. Stay tuned, everyone. Welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
It's time for shenanigans. Our shenanigans now are shenanigans and not apocalyptic, world-ending theoretical death threats like they were the last 3 episodes. Now
He says falsely.
Hey, shut up.
As he lies between his teeth.
What is the job of a GM if it is not to sit here and lie to you?
Tell us the truth, to be honest.
You're very good at it, by the way. It's
I don't know how I feel about the amount of times I have successfully like duped people with critical failures on knowledge checks. Like, I don't know how I feel about that because I'm obviously way better at lying to you guys than makes me comfortable.
I mean, to be fair, also, I'm going out of my way to not look
Just
for
don't think
tells
about it,
or
I guess.
anything. I'm deliberately not thinking about it. Although it's a bad habit to be in because, man, you can take advantage of me in board games.
I just wholly believe everything you say to me.
Yeah.
I'm a very
I would never lie to you.
I'm a very
So
trusting human being.
So trusting.
I only
never-
believe you now that you have the beard. Back when you were babyface squid,
trusted
I
you
trusted nothing you
It
said.
looked fine until I got the beard, and now there's no going back.
That's true.
That's
That's
the
true.
problem. Once you grow a beard, you're stuck with it.
You know, that beard is actually an excellent cult leader beard. It occurs to me.
Wow.
No.
Nick,
No.
Wow,
It's not.
we
It's
just,
not quite.
No,
it's not quite that.
actually.
That's
Undeniably
why,
good
it's
cult.
just why I trust you, I think. Yeah.
This?
Because you're not
Yeah.
a cult leader?
I don't think it's a cult leader beard's got to be.
He's got to have the hair
long,
too.
I think.
That's how it goes.
He doesn't have the wild eyes.
That too.
I don't know.
I think like a cult leader beard is almost like a Gandalf light. Like it's the thin, kind of wispy long boy
Oh, is it really?
that comes down to like the chest.
I don't know. Something about like the nice round shape that's also long for some reason.
You have
It's
to
in my head. I'm not sure why.
look friendly and trusting with a cult leader face. That's just like Colts 101. Like, you have to get people to trust you and follow you.
This just got really
Okay.
weird. And
Where did that round beard come from? I got a picture in my head and I'm scrabbling for references, trying to figure out where I saw it.
Sure.
I don't think we should worry
Anyway,
about it.
I feel like we're gonna go down a bit of a
This
rabbit
is,
hole.
yeah,
if we keep
this
going.
is going to be a huge
Or
rabbit
maybe a
hole
rabbit hole.
if we don't tangent out of this immediately. So let's tangent to something else completely unrelated real quick, because I got some cool news for everybody. Take a look at our social media over the next week. Go check us out on Twitter at UGT Show on Twitter. The links probably scroll down through here sometimes at some point because next Friday we are going to be setting up a cool giveaway sponsored by Norse Foundry for some gift certificates to be able to get. Well, it's not a specific dice set like we've got given away before. It can be put towards whatever thing that you want because Norse Foundry is super cool and supports a whole bunch of cool giveaway stuff for us. So keep an eye on our social media for information on that coming up in the next week. And then make sure you're here for the next episode of the Age of Ashes-Epilogue next Friday to see what happens and how you can get your super cool stuff. Norse Foundry dice are super fantastic. Like I
So heavy.
They roll
Rats can't
20.
even hold
they're
them.
so chunky. I love them.
I can't even use my favorite set because
only
they
roll
don't show up on
20s.
camera.
It's okay.
Your favorite set doesn't
is like
show when
white
I'm
on
next
white.
to you. It's
No,
like-
my favorite set's the glass ones.
We can't read.
Oh,
We
the
can't
glass
read
ones
rat.
are really hard on camera. They're really, really pretty, but they're
They're
super hard to
so
read on
pretty.
camera.
They remind me of
unfortunately.
Wall of Forces.
The glass ones are so
They're
cool.
they're beautiful if you're not playing on camera, which most people are not. So
Yeah, but I imagine
you
the
find
vast
folks,
majority of people hearing
you
this
find
are-
folks sitting in the audience will love those dice. We cannot play with them because it's all shiny and weird here, and it's fine.
literally transparent dice.
Yeah, you
little
don't
transparent dice.
play in a studio. You play at your table, which is great. You can have snacks.
Having a good time. We're having a good time. We do that part. We just
Yes.
do it.
Oh,
We have
absolutely.
to have camera dice. So
Yeah, man.
as we come back in, the following morning in Breach Hill, the group of you all awaken. And I imagine after some morning preparations, breakfasts, bathing, whatever your morning routine looks like, the group of you would probably find yourselves on the way to Citadel Altarian once more. Knowing what destination you need and hoping that it will somehow be useful. Hoping there is something to be learned. And I was gonna say, my brain said Forbidden City of Promise, which isn't like technically wrong, I guess. You can't just like go there, so it fits.
That's
Yeah.
what they think.
It sounds way more ominous than when I say Forbidden City of Promise, but lost city of Prost. Not lost. You know
It's
where
not
it is.
lost. It's on the map.
It really is forbidden. That's actually just accurate. It just sounds
And-
ominous.
Like, if you try to go
It's
there,
a
they boot you
404
out.
error. That's all. It's
The
there
un-
somewhere. We just can't find it.
Unaccessible city.
Inaccessible city of promise. The closed city of promise.
Closed. Quarantine.
We closed.
The quarantine.
We closed.
Flip the sign over. Closed. No, thank you.
Illuminate the nose on the vacancy sign.
On the bright side, the wall's better.
Southern wall would be much better. Yes, the ramparts and the walls all around Citadel would certainly be intact enough.
Told
For it to be a
Solomar to
viable
work on
fortress.
it, but my gosh.
Your boys work
right
quick.
together. It's amazing. And slip that ring on my finger. Resme, dear, you up this morning?
Of course. You know I don't sleep more than 2 or 3 hours a night.
Yeah, you really should work on that. Look, we probably
No
need to
caffeine
make
after
better
5
time
p.m.
of this, so we need to get back into those gates as soon as possible. I did wonder if you could help me with that new sword that Sal got me. And also, I need to discuss an interesting offer I got last night.
Somebody wants to go out on a date with you?
If only.
Oh.
Resme, and I'll never find someone. I'm sorry.
No, we're gonna do it.
Enough. No.
We're gonna do it. No, you're definitely gonna find him. I promise. There is a guy out there with another eye that's yellow on the opposite side of his face. And
Resme, I think I figured out why your boyfriends never work out. You're just looking for the wrong thing. Eye color's the first thing you pay attention to.
Look, I just. What did you want to tell me? Can we not talk about this?
I need to move some runes around between these two swords, and I
can
need
fix
you-
that.
All right, thank you. Let's just do that. We'll talk over it. I had an interesting dream. Not my mother. Apparently, her essence has been fragmented into pieces and is scattered in the dark between stars.
Oh, good. It couldn't have happened to a nicer hag.
I feel a bit conflicted about it, but admittedly, she did try to kill you twice.
Yeah. A lot. By the way, since we're talking about people trying to kill us, that gate really, really wants us to go into it. Like, it's... I took a look at it, and it's like beckoning us, like magically.
Magically, like a magic fingers coming and like doing one of these come hither things.
I'm the magical look, as far as you can understand it, yes.
I'm not sure how to take that, but I'll just be grateful the analogy worked out.
Look, I love you very much, dear, but you're not exactly the most cerebral princess I've ever met.
You're absolutely true. Maybe that's why I have such a hard time finding people.
You're more like a warrior princess. Like, you know.
I don't really know what you're talking about now.
You ever go to Resme's house and just get dunked on for 5 minutes?
Looking out the couple of cards while she's having a conversation with nobody. I don't know.
She's talking.
Sisters, this is just how they work. Yeah,
But she's not there. You're just. She's
yeah, like the rest of she's just doing this.
We're walking along with you, and you're just mumbling to yourself.
Mr. Calidar, it's perfectly normal. They have an artifact that lets them communicate telepathically. It's actually a very long, short story.
Well, how about you tell me sometime, eh?
Oh, it's an artifact. It's literally, I just walk over to Rasheen, grab her hand, point at the ring.
What?
Oh, ain't that special?
Look at the ring.
Yes. No, I'm letting Resme know we're coming, and I'm asking her for some help, and we started talking about our former boyfriends.
Well, hey, bud, we're here at the wall. Why don't we just go in there, bud?
Yeah. Sorry.
You got distracted, and you just sort of
I'll
stood
see
around
you-
for a while,
I'll-
just kind of talking for a bit.
I'll see you soon.
You know,
We're just
we stopped outside the wall.
We're doing like the millennial teenager thing where we're like in different rooms on our cell phones.
Yeah, you're literally texting each other. Yeah.
like Calidar, just a guide Rasheen. She's gonna run to the door frame.
I was just gonna watch.
Whoop, watch out there, bud. We're going this way.
Of all the things I thought we would describe Rasheen as for this campaign, a millennial teenager was not one of them. So, well,
Don't talk about your boyfriends too hard there,
breaking
bud.
new ground here today.
Check that one off.
You did go to Magical Girl High School.
I did go to Magical Girl High School. That'd be like the greatest subset.
That needs to be its own
sub-adventure ever.
campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a prequel one day.
Yeah, we did. We went. We made some friends. We made some enemies.
So Rez and Calidar would head into Citadel while Rasheen briefly detoured to Resme's mansion, I imagine, to drop off these swords.
Yeah, mansion's gone. We're staying in
mansion's gone?
We're staying in Citadel right now.
Oh, fair enough. So y'all going to Citadel then.
A little
fair
shell shocked.
right then. I'm gonna go. I actually want to go look at the portals.
They're there. Go for it.
I hope they're there. I hope they didn't go away. They didn't just grow legs and walk away. That'd be interesting.
No, but it was a close thing.
Cool. I'll be down there if you need me.
Right, I'll check the quartermaster supplies out and see what we can take with us.
I fixed the wall.
You did that.
It's pretty fancy work there.
Yeah, I was pretty blue. I was pretty sad, and I wanted something to do with all that energy, and I figured destroying everything wasn't the best idea, so I figured I would do something constructive instead.
Destroying everything is a bit redundant, also, just to point out.
I know, but I was really angry.
From what I saw, there wasn't much to destroy left.
Yeah, there's always more to destroy. If there's anything I've learned in my very short life. But you know that. You're a Pharasman.
Well, it's true. But we don't do much destroying. We do a lot of guiding.
Speaking of which, what does that mean exactly? I don't know much about Pharasma, aside from, the obvious. What do you do?
What's the obvious there?
Like the god of death.
Oh, well, she does a bit more than just the god of death. She guides souls. She's also she's pretty against any of the undeads, and so I'm just. So you asked what I do, and what I do is I I serve up hands when she needs to do some business on this side of the veil.
So you're her enforcer?
That's a way to put it. Yeah.
Cloak for hire.
Hired.
Oh, she doesn't pay you?
Well, she pays me in power there, bud.
Right.
And how did you get chosen for this duty?
Oh, that was a long, long time ago. I don't even remember anymore. Time works different over there,
No, I don't know.
Oh, well. Time works different over there, I'll tell you what. Could have been last week. It could have been a million years ago. I genuinely couldn't tell you.
So you're working for Pharasma. I'm actually very interested suddenly in kind of how these deific servitor relationships work out.
For unrelated reasons.
I read a book.
Doing market research. So you don't get paid, but you do get power, and that's sort of. This is sort of the level of Pharasman's, where Pharasma gets her enforcers. That's where she levels you up to, right about there.
Well, that's about right.
Okay, and you've been at this for potentially millions of years?
I mean, who can say, It's been a long time. Maybe it's been a little time. My memory's pretty fuzzy, Man,
Omarath gives a really sweet deal.
So where do you live, like when you're not here?
Well, that's a complicated question, ain't it? Because, living isn't how I describe it. I mean, I do live in the boneyard where most of the other dead stuff lives.
That sounds like a sad place. Where's that?
Oh, it's not so sad. It's, it's kind of not a place. It's more of a, I guess you'd call it a place if you really had to put your finger on it. It's more like a state of mind, It's like the state of mind is dead, which is not so bad because, everybody's got to die sometime. So I get lots of visitors and it's not so bad.
Huh.
It's a bit cold, but you get used to it pretty quick. I think it was quick. Cheat death. Oh, you don't want to do that there, bud, because Pharasma is not too kind on the cheat and death types.
I see.
Yeah, she's of the opinion that things that stay dead probably should stay dead.
Right, but if you don't get dead in the first place, then you're all right.
Right, but there's some complicated emotions about the not being dead, because most of the not dead stuff on this side of the plane is, it's like ghosts and ghoulies and stuff, and she ain't too kind to those.
Oh, they're pretty dead. They're pretty dead. They're not as dead as you might think. They're not. What'd you say?
Not dead.
They're undead.
Not dead yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the boneyard's a plane.
Plane. Well, yeah. That's not quite the plane. Sort of in a plane. It's like a passenger of the plane. Well, you meant like a
like a place, like the plane of fire.
Oh, maybe it's like Harold's place where it's triangle shaped.
No, I really don't think it's like the Lang.
At this point, will be about when the group of you arrive and also does ring at the bottom of the stairs, having just
I saw Lang.
been
I almost didn't
consumed
survive.
in this discussion the way down the many switchbacking flights to this main chamber. And we'll all see what I described to Resme yesterday.
Oh, it looks a bit burned up in here since last time I was here. You should get a cleaning crew, you know.
Well, for some reason, Vengegate is actually looking really pretty, but all the rest of this place is absolutely destroyed.
Looks better than I expected, worse than I remember. Yeah.
That's a nice way to put it.
Did you make a drawing there, bud?
What?
You do drawings? Or you just do the writings?
I do writings, I do drawings, I do
better with picture books.
Raz can do picture books.
I haven't done a picture book since Mira was 12.
What about the children now?
Oh, that's dope. This is why I like you, Mr. Rasheen. You're very smart. All right.
I remember he has a school.
I do have a school. I'm very proud of it. The kids are very bright here. Okay, so. And Raz just kind of spaces out.
Rasheen's gonna check your hands to see if you're wearing a ring like she is.
You okay there, bud?
Oh, this. I'm still trying to wrap my head. Miss Resme, have you and Miss, what was her name?
Valia?
Valia. That was her name. I'm very good with names. I just can't remember hers for some reason.
Oh, it doesn't start with an R.
No, it starts with a V, and V's are hard.
Her middle name, her last name is Argens Asimov.
I
It doesn't
don't.
technically start with an R either, but it's like it's R.
R enough.
Yeah.
As a player, I don't think I've ever heard her last name.
I'm sure.
You said it all of once.
I think she literally said it when
she
she
literally-
introduced herself,
And
and I
that
don't know if
was
it ever
it.
came up again.
I wrote it down on a piece of paper, and I just remember
Sorry.
misspelling it
Let
10
me rephrase
times.
that. As Raz has never heard her last name.
Fair enough.
Raz was not there when she was introduced. It's
Yeah, Ella was.
F.
So, has she come up with any new theories? I know she's been researching.
Oh, we do have some theories, yeah. Valia has actually done a lot of reading into the books and the papers that we brought back from one of the way stations. And we think that there's something about Promise Gate, well, about the Gate to Promise, or Venge Gate, or whatever you call it, that's going to make it easier for us to go through now. Something is different.
Oh,
magic has
it's
changed.
Different because you're on a mission from God.
I don't particularly like that phrase, magic has changed. It usually leads to very bad things.
Well, I mean, I guess if it's because we're on a mission from God, I guess that could be a good thing.
That's not necessarily a good thing either. Missions from gods are usually suicidal missions at best. They send a lot of people on missions, and a lot of people die.
They're only suicidal if you're not good enough.
That is a fair point. So, Venge Gate is fine. All the other gates are fine.
I mean, except for the one that was never fine.
Yeah, that one's the problem. I've been thinking, you can't trap a god, can you?
It's happened a couple times.
Oh, Rovagog, I think, is a blaring, outlier to that.
So I have a theory about that. So I've been doing some research in the couple months since I've been here. And one of the things that I've been researching, it's very, very old magic. I'm sure you at least know about it, Raz. Are you familiar with the concept of a true name?
Yes, true names are obvious. That's how most people bind demons and devils to themselves. Once you learn it, of course, that's a very hard thing to do.
You hear a voice from the stairwell. Hard if you aren't well trained in the art, but for a Hell Knight signifier, simply another day. And you see Marcus Solimar in his full plate with his greatsword hauled up over his shoulder, full helmed visor and everything on, march into the room.
Well, look at you there, bud. Aren't you a big guy?
Oh, Lord Castellan.
Mr. Marcus, as soon as he walks in, I get right up into his personal space and just kind of put my hands up. Oh, his hands are full. It's good to see you again, sir. Anyways, yes, as he said, if you're not trained in true names, it's very difficult.
As you intend to open Vengegate once more, I was not down here when that happened yesterday and could do little to prevent what ensued. I will not make that mistake again.
Your presence is, of course, welcome.
It's reassuring at the very least.
If all of you intend to pass through that gateway, then your Castellan will stand guard here to ensure nothing comes out after you.
Thanks, Marcus. That's sweet of you.
I pity whatever tries.
It's sensible and nothing else. A tactical decision. I have no wish to stand down here and engage with whatever magic this is. My understanding of spellcraft and the arcane is limited and, admittedly, near nothing, especially on this scale. But I will not allow this citadel to fall from within.
This stone you gave me, will it let me communicate if we're quite a ways away, or does it have a range?
It lasts a few miles. It's meant to be able to send messages from a forward camp back to an army vanguard, or from a town to outlying reaches, but little more.
Well, it won't do any good for us here, and she'll hand it back. But Lady Valia has a slate we can write messages back and forth with, and that actually works over any distances. Lady Resme used it to communicate quite some time. We could use that to let you know when we're coming back. When the mists clear, the stone should be solid, and you should be good to end your vigil.
Very well.
And we can also, if we're going to be gone for quite a while, we can also just counsel to have spells for that as well. We can communicate. That's all that matters.
Well, ain't y'all just fancy with your magics?
Conduct a shadow war over a continent, and you learn little tricks.
If you intend to access this gate, I stand at the ready, and there are a dozen more men at the top of the stairwell, so should anything get past me, they will not take Breach Hill, nor Altarian.
Well, at least you have walls again.
They're of little use when the enemy comes from within, I'm afraid.
The enemy
In fact,
always...
much the opposite. Keeps greatest strength is also its greatest weakness.
Be surprised by the number of stories where the hero falls from something within their own conscience or their own heart.
If taken through subterfuge or stealth, a keep becomes as powerful a weapon for the aggressors as it was the defenders. Many castles have fallen as such, and their outlying towns as well.
Well, I don't think we want to waste the big guy's time over here, so maybe we should get to it, eh?
I've got a couple of modifications I need to make to that sword that Sal gave me, but once it's up and ready, I think we'd be good
Oh,
to
you
go.
know Sal too?
Oh,
Yeah,
you know him as well.
I've run into Sal many times.
Of course he does. He's
Oh
up in
yeah,
the boneyard
that guy
and
is
slay
like
things.
everywhere.
It's phenomenal.
While you work on your sword, maybe it's the expanding of energy to sort of fix the Citadel or the exploration on Pharasma and the Boneyard. But peace of mind clears your personal rain cloud for a better day, Resume. Flip it again, you're blessed.
Oh, Petey!
This is like a constant tug of war, and I'm here for it. I am here for
It's
this.
what they're for.
Yeah, I love it.
But moving runes between swords as literal 19th level characters is not even something I'm going to make you roll a crafting check for.
That's good, because I'm legendary.
Sure, that is something that you can manage. What are you
Hey, me
swapping?
too.
So I'm taking the bastard sword made of steel has served me well, but I think I'm good to put it away. And I'm going to be using the phenomenal made of shadow plane adamant that Sal Sartad made. And I'm going to be putting the Holy Rune and the Speed Rune on that.
Okay.
And so the Greater Thundering and the Greater Force Rune are going to go on rune stones that we're just going to keep in our pocket.
Okay, fair enough. Doing that relatively quickly with your legendary crafting, the group of you stand as ready as you could be to enter this portal.
We're calling the sword Punch Card.
It has a name. It's Salsar Todd, Sal's sword.
Yeah.
It's a cell sword.
All right.
No, it's Salsar Todd, Sal's sword.
I got these swords from Sal.
All right.
Nice sword. Ready for it. And we go.
Hold your breath.
Why did you fart?
No, we're going through a portal. You hold your breath.
Wait, wasn't there something
okay.
you wanted to tell me before we went through there?
Did I not? Oh.
It's like Raz is already in.
Well, he just hasn't opened it yet. She's
Oh, I thought you should open it.
Oh, okay.
We need to clear it out. I'll fill you in as we walk.
Okay, that'll be fun. Let's do it. I'll take the key and I'll touch it to the gate.
Just as you saw before, and many times before that now, at the point of touch, the stone turns to this thick mist which spreads across the face of the stone before leaving an archway of fog before you. It doesn't roll out, it doesn't expand, it simply stays a flat plane in its frame. And this time, no horrible dragon storm explodes forth from within.
That's a nice change.
Well, that was way more peaceful than last time. What'd you do?
We let all the energy out.
Oh, yeah, like a fart.
Yeah,
That's
my
good.
goodness gracious, it was quite a one.
All right. I'll go first.
It's a terrible idea.
Oh, yeah, I don't think you should go there for... I mean, are you already in?
Roshin's going to quickly step through the fog. And as the fog envelops her, she's just going to whisper, "Only a few more years now, sir." And move forward into the way station that hopefully will show up pretty soon.
The group of you step through the portal into a hallway. A short adjoining passage that connects to a massive circular chamber, easily over 100 feet across. Its massive vaulted ceiling above only starting to arc in 40 feet overhead. The chamber is enormous. You could easily fit every other way station inside this one 5 times over. The walls...
And level 9 heroism.
The walls are adorned with carvings of daggers and wasps in the stone, punctuated by a relief of a trio of knives across the domed ceiling at the very peak, all pointing outward. At the center of the room, a large stone platform is surrounded by 4 stone benches, as well as a pair of figures you have seen once before. 2 upright, massive, draconic, skeletal creatures stand throughout the room,
Really?
seemingly laying waste at random to walls, furniture, everything around them, including Resme's Bless. After expending the magic to move 4 runes in a few minutes, you feel slightly less lucky. Put the vein back in there.
That's good.
Pink!
Amazing.
Blue! Pink! Blue!
I'm so here for
As
this.
you come in and enter the chamber here, these creatures are filling the room with an echoing cacophony of slams and stone rubble as they just randomly savage the chamber.
Right. Yeah, that might as well happen. Sure.
I hate these places so
They
much.
don't seem to hear your approach or your voices over the incredibly destructive sounds of
Oh,
their own
these guys aren't very quiet, eh? Not too smart either.
Well, let's just take the one on the right first if we can and see if we can pull it down.
Hope they brought their catcher's mitts, because I'm about to throw some hands.
Allegro. She says almost like,
Allegro. God reversed back to bless. Swap them.
I'm gonna use this I'm using this for initiative. I don't
With your
Well, you can't. It triggers on a one-off.
with your haste up, I assume
Oh,
you
yeah.
are rushing forward into battle here, and we will in fact roll some initiative. So go ahead and throw me them d20s, gentlemen.
Gerkahak.
As-
Everyone's gonna get +4.
Remember what we fight for. Remember Breach Hill. Remember home. As it starts, like, kind of remembering, listing people who live in Breach Hill. Everyone feels inspired in their defense.
nice.
Inspired defense is just up for me.
Yeah, that's fine.
God, I missed you.
Do you have Super Scout or is it Normal Scout?
That's a good question. I don't remember.
Pretty sure
the
he's got
answer
Super
to.
Scout,
I
just not
believe
a
I had
plus-
Super Scout,
You don't?
but I guess we were scouting when we came through. Did we?
Yeah, you're
say that?
You're a ranger. I think you're literally
Well, and you
always.
also
yeah.
like had time. It wasn't immediate to be
Yeah.
like. Scouting is such a funny context. You're like, hey, there's things. Everyone gets a +1. Scouting's funny. So, resume.
Resme hates these places so much, and she is so bored with them. She rolled a 1, and she just doesn't care anymore. But even with a 1, that's still a 37.
That token plate should be a little more visible now, matching the colors of the tokens on the map, as well as the little plastic fixtures on everybody's microphones. It should make it much more easier to see at a glance who is who. Rasheen?
Rasheen, perhaps with some speed lent to her actions, looking to kind of having some job security coming in the future. She got a 51.
Rez?
I'm going to use one of my mystery hero points and thank Chad again for this. Thank you, Bryn, too, to re-roll it.
Thank Bryn for never using a hero.
Thank you,
point.
Bryn, for never using the Dragon's Horde. I don't have a calculator over here. 34, 42, 44.
44. And
Thank you.
Calidar.
Calidar got a.
It's been so long he forgot the number you got.
I did. I
We
did.
went around
I
for
did
too
math
long.
at one point, and then I
forgot.
I think that's a 51.
That sounds about right.
Who wants to go first? Rasheen or Calidar?
I'll let Calidar go first. Well, I'll let Calidar go first.
Okay, and these strange constructs within are coming in with a 47, putting them soundly right in the middle. Calidar, as you feel this haste spell overtake you, you have a bonus action that can only be used to stride or strike, and you are first.
How far away are we from these guys?
You are a good, 70 feet from them.
70 feet. That is unfortunate. However,
Yeah, you're actually probably 60.
You're
It's
60.
60 from this one and 70 from... The closer one's 60-ish.
okay. Huh. I'm not quite as fast as Valentina over there. I don't have 60 feet of movement. I do have 50, which is pretty fast. So let's hold on. Let me look through here. If I'm hasting, do that one. Nope. that's
Reference
not good.
cards. I love the reference
Yeah, there we go.
cards. Oh, that was good. No.
Okay, so I'm gonna move to within 10 feet of it. So I'm gonna take all my movement, move 50 feet, and then I'm gonna. Anybody that's got real good crafting, you might see me do some stuff, but I'm moving so fast that you don't really see what I do. There is for anybody that matters something in front of that creature now. And then I'm going to move, then I'm going to take, so that's first. Oh, by the way, I did hunt prey first. Now I can do that for free, so he's
Level
it.
19 things.
Hey, bud,
Solid. All right,
you're
use
it.
prey.
Then I'm going to take my second move. The first move was hasted. Second move, I'm going to move around to the other side of him, to within, melee range.
Okay.
And then I'm going to push him real hard. I have Titan Wrestler,
Give me an athletics check.
so take that.
This is your first combat. You didn't even get to fight anything that first session. Represent 5 is the first time you got to throw the hands.
That's right. We're going to throw the hands, but
excited.
we're going to throw the hands.
See how his character works.
just a little bit different this time. We're going to throw the hands. We're going to throw the hands a little harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to use that hero point
points.
right away. Thank you. Who's that?
Kaga.
Kaga, that's right. Thank you, Kaga. I'm going to roll that one again. That's a little better. With 42 athletics to push that creature.
42 as you come in to push. With your Titan Wrestler, it's not a hopeless task, but they are very large, very heavy, and very sturdy. And he's focused on raging kind of this direction. And as you come in to try to push against him, do you have a bless?
I think I do.
You do.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
That little edge from chat
Yeah, thank you, chat.
is exactly enough to push him 5 feet.
That's excellent. He's going to have to make me a reflex save.
And as this thing stumbles backwards, its reflex, not fantastic. It's a giant skeleton. 37.
That's not enough there, buds. So we're all going to take a little shot of Malort. I need everyone to roll me 4d8.
There's so many D8s on these freaking traps. We've just decided to do crowdsource the rolling.
Nice.
Everyone's going to do it. Also, you immediately got your bless back.
Hell yeah.
Lalivic. So put that right back up there. All right. So when you get your numbers, just tell me and I'll add them into my grand calculator.
19. I did quick math.
Quick math.
33 for
Plus-
both of us.
No, for both. I was like, holy crap.
I was like, wait, what?
That's not even possible.
As my husband, I've delegated him to read out the number.
That is awesome. I don't have that. And I'm going to roll 7 more.
Okay.
For a total of 19 d8. Thank you, Pathfinder, for making it super difficult
Why is
for
it
us.
19?
19.
We
It's
can't even roll half and double it, man. What is it? Prime. What are you
so
doing?
ridiculous.
26.
26 more.
On 7? Ooh. Okay.
So
I guess that's actually kind of okay.
the one.
Okay.
So your
I was gonna
total
say-
is 78, good sir.
So he 78 damage as a. So there was a little tiny ball, but it expands like one of those toys you got from a museum. It expands like I don't remember what they're called. Do you remember what they're called?
Oh yeah, with the
Oh, those
ears.
are plastic arms.
Yeah,
I have
exactly.
no
I
would
idea
put it
they
in my,
have a
head in
name.
it.
That's exactly what it
But
does.
I know, yes, I know what
So
you mean.
I put it in my head and I closed it.
I also only know it from museum gift shops, so that's a really.
I mean, that's where I got them from, right?
That's- wow,
Museum
it's
gift shops,
actually
and yeah.
accurate.
So this thing expands, but it expands in like what feels like a magical way, and then a bunch of like spears suddenly point inwards, and then it contracts really fast and does 78. What was it? Yeah,
78 points of damage.
78 points of piercing damage to
And-
this creature as all these spears just suddenly crunch
The
on him.
sheer volume of the spears is extremely impressive. Many of them glance and deflect off of the bones of this skeleton. Even those that do strike true seem to be blunted pretty decently by his structure. He is resistant to piercing damage, but he is definitely going to take most of that, and that will bring us around to Rasheen.
Oh, I did stride after him, by the way. I'm still within melee range.
Yes.
When I pushed him, I just stayed with him.
Huh. I'll have to watch where he fiddles his hands on the ground. That was amazing. Huh. Right. Kornlakirna Splunk, and she's going to split into two after images and converge, moving into flanking position across from Calidar, and smashing with a force with a true strike to blink charge.
And as Rasheen jets in here and you see her split, all of you would see a pale, almost yellow after image behind her as she shoots across.
Ooh. I sneeze.
I don't think that's healthy.
I got allergies.
Let's see, that's a 4 and a 10. I'll take that 10. That's going to be a 44 in flanking
44
position.
will hit, it's flat-footed.
Perfect. 1, 2.
Like that.
So that's going to be that. I'm going to have my good damage. I'm going to have force damage.
There's no bad damage.
There's no bad damage.
It's bad for them, not bad for us.
All right, let's see here. That's going to be 12, 19, 21, 31. 31, I'm on minor curse, so I use that damage bonus.
So much.
I love Oracle's wild.
He has cards and you have wheels.
31 plus 7, 38 slashing good and force damage.
Okie dokie. So your sword may be blunted in the strike, but you see the rune on your blade flare up, and all of you see the telltale flash of holy energy rip up this thing's leg as it is extraordinarily weak. You saw that before when you fought them at the Citadel. But left in the wake of this, there's a sear up the femur of this creature, a crack where your sword had struck, from which seems to explode a spread of thin, yellow, almost hair-like tendrils, sort of wrapping out from this crack across its leg.
Well, that's new there, bud. You got some new toys?
What you talking about? That happens all the time when I fight these things.
Is that you?
No, that's 2
I was like,
actions.
I think you got more, yeah.
Yeah. So, actually,
Wait,
that's
two
3
actions? I was like, there's no way True Strike Blink Charge
True
is
strike,
two
blink strike,
actions.
3 actions. I've got a speeder on my sword, so I'm going to swing it up. And as she goes to, I don't have a better form for this, but it's going to flip into a. The blade will broaden and extend, forming a falchion, taking the place of her sword. She'll bring up into almost a flipped up slash. So let's see how that
I
goes.
gave this man the quickened shifting weapon, and he immediately made a spreadsheet of all the weapons and their traits.
Duh.
He's it's color coded. Okay.
So proud of himself.
My
Have
husband.
it. However, I rolled a 2 on the die, so that's just going to be a
That one is
not
going
enough,
to,
probably. Yeah.
Certainly swing wide. So between.
Don't
the
worry,
two
boy.
of
You'll get him. You'll get him.
While you push this thing back, it's not a smart thing, and Rasheen is definitely bonking it with holy energy. So it is going to turn around, take one of these fists, And there's no roaring, there's no screaming. It wordlessly just turns. Only the sound of the rumbling just slams of its weight in the stone floor as a backhand of this clawed fist, which seems to be crackling with flaming lightning, smashes down towards Rasheen. And that's going to be a 45 to hit.
It's a normal hit.
Normal hit.
Oh, you got an energy Aegis on me?
Yep,
Okay.
every day.
The high level? Okay.
But he's
Going
not
to
here
do
anymore.
this many. It's just physical damage. 15, 4, 33, 39. 51 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okie dokes.
Just straight bludgeoning.
Collapses the guard and poof.
And as that lands, it lifts one leg and just stomps down towards you as well.
The disrespect.
46. I rolled
normal hit.
6 higher and multiple attack penalties, so math. $43 points of bludgeoning damage on this second stomp. And not one for seemingly tactics or intelligence. Makes no attempt to move from this flanking position, nor to do anything other than just wail away at the target in front of it. Finally, having now pivoted, bringing its other arm overhand to slam down towards you with a natural 20.
There it is.
Wow.
We knew it was
45.
It's a hit, so that'll critical me. She's just unsteady from the stop, and then there's the hand just right on the face and just down.
You said, what is the energy Aegis and why you have this?
Energy Aegis is a spell that Resume was casting on Buddy every single day, but now she's casting it on me because Buddy is staying home. So I get 10 energy resistance to everything.
Oh, okay. So you see as this final hand hits, all of you would hear a much louder explosion. Oh, I get a Bane. My bless is gone. I'm Bane now.
Yeah, that's right.
There we go.
Haven, that's rude.
Give it 5
You're a
seconds.
rude lady. It slams down, and you see a burst of fire and crackling lightning. A puff of mist emanate out, and you see a spray of sizzling acid across the floor. Does your resistance do poison too?
I think it
Okay,
does.
then you're not going to take damage from any of that. You are going to take a lot of damage from the hand.
I was gonna say
The hand is going to do a lot of damage.
I know it's a very small number, but
It's going to be 82 points of bludgeoning damage. Fortunately,
Okay.
the lowest damage roll for the crit. Works out pretty well for you. And then the other one is going to realize things are happening and just sort of turn. And as it turns to the left, not super smart, it sees this chaos happening over here. It's just going to kind of waddle over. It's big enough to easily just step up on top of this plinth in the center, which is about 7 feet tall, but does not stop it at all. That comes up maybe like mid-leg, but walks over, not flanking Rasheen on purpose, just because that happened to be the direction it walked, and also smashing down towards you.
Hey there, buds. Why don't you pick on somebody your own size? Like me.
It's gonna be a 44.
that'll hit.
Bonk. We're testing the Rasheen self-healing program today.
We are.
And keep in mind, I have a Bane, so if anything is one off, let me know. 39 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And as that smashes down, it pulls up and just slams again. For a natural 1. So finally, something has missed.
Basically, she's been beaten into a crater, and the hand is hitting the rims of the crater before it's getting to
You
her.
are pancaked at this point into the ground, and they're both just like stomping and slamming on you, and now you are shielded by the floor itself. As we come around to Rez, who can barely see this through the dust and scree being cast out from the power of these attacks. You can tell the attacks are weighty, but it looks like their strikes are slamming through the stone like it was grass. Like they are blasting away inches and feet of stones with their strikes. Rasheen is in a literal crater at this point.
Was Rasheen within 60 feet of me? I can't see me.
Yes, well, I'd say just.
She has DR5 to all physical damage from me.
So, okay.
So minus 20. Okay.
Yeah, just take 20. You got to hit 4 times, take 20 off.
Yeah, because Song of Inspired Defense is up.
Cool.
What else does that do, by the way?
+1 to your AC.
Okay.
Still hit me plenty.
I should have said that.
I think those are all pretty clear in the hitting Rasheen department, probably.
As part of my exploration action, I was recalling knowledge. I would like to cash that check in.
Sure. These are going to need your Bardic Lore or Crafting modifier.
We'll use Bardic Lore, and like before, as he goes to think, just a book, actually not even a book, a scroll kind of floats down in front of him, and is a diagram of these things. So it's a +4, so it's going to be a 32.
32. As you look up at these, you can see them breathe the same energy of the dragon storm that had just struck Breach Hill yesterday. You can tell clearly from looking at them that they command near all elements and will be extremely resistant to all of them as well. But as you watch them strike the floor, you can also tell they are exceptionally destructive. The amount of damage that they're doing to the floor and to the walls should have reduced Rasheen to a fine powder at this point. So some kind of enhancement or quirk of their nature is causing them to destroy unliving matter with incredible efficacy.
Interesting. Completely mindless. I can assume that much. Skeletal constructs normally don't have a mind, so I'm very useless in this fight. I'm going to... You hear, Raz?
You would also know that these things are wreathed in an aura of this dragon storm. That's like separate from their actual form. It's not just an aspect of their being. It's not native to them. It's something that has been imbued into them and something that could theoretically be removed or dispelled.
Hey, Resme, I got a job for you. Try to spell magic on these things, please. I'm going to move forward with the quicken action from Resme.
Okay.
Up 35 feet. And then la yafruk, and you're going to see a wall, a shimmer. We're putting a wall between Rasheen and the one that's flanking her. Just not even trying to close off the guys, just in the way.
Right.
So it's diagonally in the way, and you see the
It would be a bit taller than these constructs. They're just 20 feet wide, right?
Yeah, it's 20 feet tall, yep.
So it would be a bit taller than the construct.
Hopefully it holds. I don't know. I don't know anything anymore.
So where it's just
You see a quick shimmer as like hundreds of bricks just kind of form, go invisible, and place themselves in front between diagonally, completely cutting Rasheen off from the one to the right of us on the map, from where we're standing.
Okay.
So that one hopefully removed. That is an 8th level wall of force.
That spell is 3 actions. That brings us to Resme.
Okay. Well, this should go very well or very badly. Magicum incantum reversum! And she'll reach out, and with her magical senses, she'll try to rip this extra layer of whatever Raz was talking about off this thing with a 9th level dispel magic.
Okay. Maybe a counteract check.
I'm going to use one of them nice hero points that Kaga's been dishing out to me. That is far better. We like that very, very much. That is going to be a 48.
With a 48, which one are you dispelling?
The one that's currently being surrounded by my lovely friends.
Okay, the one on the right. You're right as you look at the room. Your magic reaches out, and in the wake of this explosion, as that one reels back, you see it stagger and jerk, almost like a marionette on strings, and all of you would see the fire and lightning dissipate entirely. Some of the color even fading from the bones as it clearly staggers and starts to lose balance.
Oh, good call, Raz.
Oh, I got it right. Cool, I got it right. I knew that.
You did one!
Sure?
Oh, he's never sure.
I'm
You
always
know
right
that.
until I'm wrong.
What's the range on this spell magic? I think you might
120
Oh, you're
feet.
good. You don't have to reach it. You're good.
I will use my stride to move into the room a little bit because I need to be a little bit closer for what I want to do next. Everyone, let's look into the future, shall we? And she'll wave her hand, and you'll all see a vision of these creatures' next actions and where you can hit it just right to make that first hit really count. That's going to be a true target.
Nice.
And that's my turn.
Calidar.
Very nice. Okay. Oh, you're looking a bit unstable there, bud. What's going on? You gonna catch some hands? And he's gonna like he's gonna. Have you seen the trailer for that Mission Impossible movie where Superman, the guy that plays Superman, reloads his arms? He's gonna reload his arms real quick, and his gauntlets are gonna be. So he saw that the spears didn't quite hit it. So the gauntlets that he's wearing, there was a little kind of spikies there. Now they're just real hard fisties, and he's gonna impossible flurry. So this is gonna be the first one, and then I'm gonna do.
Is that 3 actions? Impossible flurry.
Yeah,
You gotta use one to reload your fist, right?
I don't.
Oh, it's free action.
Yeah, it's free.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay, you're good. Oh right, it's only the physical types, but it's free.
Correct.
Big punch.
So here's the big punchy. Oof, not so great actually. That's a 39.
Flanking.
AC. Yeah, to a flanking.
39 with the flanking and the dispel is gonna land.
Heck yeah.
You want to just roll all your hits? 'Cause
Yeah,
you
let's
got,
just
like,
do
literally
that,
6
and
of
then,
them. So you only get the double on the one. So yeah, just roll a
Correct.
handful and
Yep.
we'll do them all.
I got 2 more. There we go.
All those with the
All
same
right.
modifier.
So rough. All right. So the lowest was a 35.
35 will not hit.
Not 36.
36 will not hit.
38.
You have your bless back, right?
I do.
38 will hit.
All right.
Consume the bless. That'll
so then
do it.
all the 3 of those will hit.
So you got 4
So I got
hits.
4 hits.
And 2 misses is what are you doing? What's happening?
So he reloads his arms so that his fists are just whatever, but then they kind of glow a little bit, especially as he just it's like a cartoon. His fists go so fast that if your eyeballs are not at like 130 frames a second, all you see is just like this blurry motion as he just like, and each one of those sparks off a bunch of holy damage. Do I need to roll some damage dice, or is the 5 hits of or 4 hits of holy damage
Between 4 hits of holy damage and your regular damage, he does not resist. I am sure that punches him apart.
Excellent.
There's no way. That's 80 points of damage just from the holy weakness.
So as he's doing that, the sparks are just flying, and he's just chipping away bones, and he's like, he's just ripping it apart basically, and just
Go, 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 go!
and he absolutely levels this thing.
yeah, and then he just wipes off the dust and reloads. Let's go, boys.
You have your haste action.
Oh, I do have a haste action. I'm gonna attempt. So Calidar's not too smart on the magic, so he's gonna attempt to get to that next one.
And the wall is in fact also invisible. So like,
right.
You would run.
Oh, actually, is it an illusion that's
It's not an
invisible?
illusion,
Okay,
it's just
I just
invisible.
can't
It's
see.
actually there.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's there.
Right.
So you would run dog into the back porch door.
Yeah.
Just running over.
Oh boy,
towards
that's a new one.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, Raz likes to do that.
I tried to give it a little bit of a visual so you could see where it is, but I guess it wasn't enough.
Oh boy, I was a bit distracted over here by Boney Boy.
You hate to see it.
I didn't see it.
Rasheen's gonna pull herself up out of the crater and just kind of crack her neck left and right.
You
It's
okay
been a
over there,
while
bud?
since I've been beaten down that bad. You there! I'm coming for you next. And I'm gonna try a scare to death for the skeleton thing on the other side of the fourth wall.
Brilliant.
It does not seem phased.
It doesn't seem phased.
It is
Okay.
mindless.
All right.
It is a mindless punching skeleton. But I appreciate your energy.
Right?
She's going to kind of grasp her hands and put it to her chest. These crimson briars are going to kind of roll up out of her clenched fist, and her wounds will start to close. She's going to cast a regenerate on herself. And then she's going to, with a stride action, she's going to start doing the long walk around the force wall, just kind of dragging her now back to a sword down the wall just so she can tell where it ends. And that's my actions.
And as you move along the wall, the fellow ranger can answer the eternal question of will it blend? Put your blast back on. Don't expect these to keep flowing at this rate. Everyone's just got the stock from the time where they couldn't use channel points because we didn't have anything to spend them on. So this is the episode where you get to go nuts with the blesses.
Love it.
They have money burning holes in their pockets.
This second massive creature can actually reach Calidar, and learning nothing from literally watching him run into an invisible wall is going to reach and try to punch towards him and hit an invisible wall. What's the hardness
30.
on wall force?
30.
30? How much health does it have?
80.
80?
Hope these things had their spinach.
You see it punch with one hand, and you've seen how incredibly resilient these walls of force is. This big fist aimed at Calidar that just hits the wall, shoots, cracks through it like he punched a pane of glass. Like a rock hitting a windshield. And it pulls its hand back and does it again. And the second punch is absolutely just going to break directly through. 2 hits, punching through an 8th level wall of force.
Damn.
And as it shatters, and you all see a wave of light ripple down it for a moment before these invisible pieces flash out immaterial, the third hit, which is at a -10, does actually get to swing down towards Calidar.
Good luck there, bud.
Poonch. Don't ever say that to me again. Natural 20.
So he just catches the hand as it hits him, and it still hurts real bad when he catches it.
We call this tempting fate. It has been the end of many adventurers before
So
you.
what's the score?
Say, didn't you natural 20 me on the third hit too?
Yeah, I did natural 20 on the third hit. The total is a 45.
Oh, you did just barely hit me there, bud.
Is it exactly?
No, not quite. Not quite
if it was
one.
exactly, we could
yeah,
bait
not
it,
quite
but-
one. It's 2 off.
Well, it would have to be exact lethal, so the -1 made it miss. So close.
Yep.
But natural 20 is pretty hard to get
Yep,
through.
that's
and
true.
This force that just brought down I think the first. No, you've seen a golem walk through Raz's wall force, but it took it like 2 or 3 rounds to do it.
Yeah.
2 actions bringing it down, followed up by a mighty punch
Did I visualize it wrong?
of 82 bludgeoning damage.
Ouch.
-5.
-5.
He's too far away.
That's not up.
Oh, it's
Oh,
not
it's
up.
not,
No,
you
he
took
didn't
it
continue.
down?
82 bludgeoning damage. And a surge. You have fire resistance, right?
I do.
Do you have any other resistances?
Electricity.
Okay, then I'll only roll 3 of these. A surge of 9 more points of fire, cold, and poison damage. Or not fire, lightning, not lightning. What are the- acid, cold, and poison. It's like, what are the other 3?
Words.
Acid,
Words are
cold, and
hard.
poison damage as this again explodes like the one that you had seen hit Rasheen.
Oh, you're gonna regret that there, bud.
Reyes. A Mateus.
I think I visualized it wrong, Mr. Rasheen. I swore I visualized bricks when I built the wall. It might have been glass. Oh, did you know Miss Margaret's birthday's today? Back in Breach Hill. She turns 95.
Hey there, bud. It might not be the best time for that.
I kind of think this is terribly
and-
relevant.
Happy birthday.
They're planning a big birthday, but I guess now it's rebuilding efforts. As he's speaking, you not only feel a wall of courage reminded of Breach Hill once again, also defense. I'm gonna I forget what it's called.
Multi-composition.
Yeah, multi-composition, whatever it's called.
It has a
Inspire
name,
courage and
but-
defense. One of them is a hasted action because I've always got cantrips going now.
Okay.
So that leaves me.
With 2 actions. Because you can't have multiple sources of hasted actions. So if you're
Yeah.
using, is it a free action or is
It's
it
a
an
hasted
action that
action.
can
I'm
only be
permanently
used?
quickened
Okay,
for
so then you've got
cantrips,
2
yeah.
regular actions left.
So yeah, because meta magic, regular hastes. Yeah. So 1 action.
What action left?
1 action left. You guys are doing great. Good job. I can't really do much more in this situation, but good job, guys. Proud of you,
Ready
team.
for welcome back. Here's more mindless enemies.
Thank you.
Miss Resume.
All right, your turn, big boy. Buddy, I hope this works with magic too. and she'll kind of throw out a magical lasso, and she'll attempt to pull this thing's shield of magic off of it with a lasso, and she'll just kind of tug at it really hard.
This is a dispel magic.
Yep.
So good.
He reminded me of Breachhill. He reminded me of Buddy.
Give me a counteract check.
That's good. It's going to be a 47.
See the same thing. A storm swirling around it, dissipate, and it staggers as the color fades from its bones.
Oh, okay. Oh, guys, I don't know how many of those more I have left in me, but we're going to move a little bit over here and go, guys. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you.
And Raz.
It's really Margie's birthday?
Go, team, go.
Give me a
Calidar,
B.
go.
Give me an H. Give me an O. Give me a B. What does that spell? Hob.
Yeah.
Yay!
I'm still hasted, right? Okay, great. I'm within melee range, and with them reloaded arms, I'm gonna take a couple of swings. That's great. Yeah, so that's gonna be critical. Natural 20 on the dice.
Oh, yeah,
I'm sure I hit him.
That's a crit.
Yep.
Accurate. That's the thing that it does. He 20'd you, you 20'd him right back.
Yep.
And then how it works.
Yeah, but
There's some holy damage on there. There's a couple other little small damage if you really need it.
that's a lot of hands you got there, bud.
Sure, a lot of hands. So that's 5, 6, 17, 20 damage plus the holy resistance. 3 of those
Okay.
were holy.
By the power of
Oh, sorry,
literally-
that was 40. Sorry, yeah, 40 damage.
40
that was- yeah,
plus
'cause that
the
was a
holy.
critical.
Okay, I was like,
Sorry.
that's the saddest
Yeah, no, that was a
crit
critical.
I've ever
Sorry.
heard in my life.
Yeah, you're right.
42.
Oh, yeah.
I got you.
All right.
I got you.
And then he swings again with his twin takedown. Another natural 20.
What?
So
Who do you
we're just
think
going to
you
keep
are?
that train rolling.
Give me an
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's better damage too. 5, 9, 16. Sorry, 15. So 30 damage. Nope, sorry.
6, so
30 plus 22 is
30.
52. 54 plus holy. Part of that was holy.
all right, fair enough.
All right.
You want to do it again?
No, actually, he's just gonna touch him this time. Actually, he's not even gonna touch him. He's just gonna be like, "You're undead, right, bud? Great. Roll me a will save.
What are you doing?
I'm dispelling undead, or disrupting undead. Sorry.
And as you toss this magic out here, you actually feel it catch on nothing. What you're facing here is not actually undead, so much as it is simply an animated construct of bone,
All right.
which is technically different.
He's
the
only
best kind of different.
mostly
Different
It doesn't,
enough.
it doesn't have a soul. It doesn't have a spirit
Got
that
it.
energy that disrupt undead would diffuse into. It is literally just a magically animated construct, more akin to a, say it with me, golem. Thank you, everybody.
Alrighty.
Uncommon.
but
That was-
They're uncommon here in Galarian.
they're very rare. Golems don't show up very often. So
story of the Age of
It's
Ashes.
a rare encounter that you get to fight against one.
Yeah.
Very rare creatures in Pathfinder
Odd.
2nd edition. So that brings us around to Miss Rasheen.
So Rasheen just as walking down to the end, kind of nonchalantly, dum-de-dum-de-dum, her wounds closing up from reality, and then just this ear-piercing shatter happens, and she just looks. Oh, must get back. And she runs. She's going to cast Athletic Rush, which is going to give her a 10-foot bonus to her speed and let her charge at the same time for a focus point.
Okay.
Kick her up to moderate curse. I would imagine that perhaps there's going to be a yellowish trail to her footprints now. Is going to allow her to run up into flanking position with Calidar.
That's like a 7-foot thing it's up on. That it's
No
just
problem.
going up onto.
I'll still move into flanking position with Calidar, but be off the flanking thing. And as she runs, the sword is going to shift out into a halberd. to allow me to still be able to reach.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. That's why reach weapons. Whatever. Oh, that'll do it.
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
And by the way, I think Calidar was just beating on his feet.
Yeah, you're hitting his toes. He's like, you're just beating toes.
Critting on his toes. That
Yeah,
hurt,
I mean,
man.
you have pretty much at this point, that amount of crit on his toes probably destroyed the entire foot, and it's like down on a knee
Coffee
on that.
table in the middle of the night.
Yeah, exactly. I am the coffee table in the middle of the night. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good. And as it comes down, Kornakinana, and it'll kind of, the shadow of the halberd will split into two as she tries to find the best angle through manipulation of destiny. I'm gonna take that 19 on the die there.
I'd do that too.
Pretty good there.
That's what I would go.
So that's gonna be a 52 in flanking.
That'll crit.
That'll crit.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah, man.
Rip him apart, my dudes.
Wham. With the holy die in there.
With the holy-
And with, is it immune to mental damage?
Yes.
Okay, so
Completely mindless.
none of the Bespell weapon's gonna work. Mediocre, but let's see.
Do you have elemental damage in there? Or is it just mental?
It's just it's mental damage from the Bespell weapon, from casting True Strike, and it's holy damage from the Holy Rune.
Oh, okay.
The rest
You
of it
said
is
none of the best spell weapon damage, so I thought there might be other types. It is actually not currently resistant to anything.
Oh, okay.
Because she dispelled it.
Oh,
Yeah.
very nice, very nice.
The spell, it's elemental resistance.
No, I don't have any elemental damage in the sword.
Okay.
Although I can get elemental damage out of a spell weapon depending on what I cast.
Yeah, that's why I was asking. I know it's interesting. So,
See here, that's going to be 10, 21, 23.
Sorry. It's also afraid now. If it, because it's immune to mental damage. It would have been afraid twice.
it would be real scary.
It'd be real scary.
Possess the concept of emotions.
Sorry. Yeah, you're right. Mental.
33.
So he's doing math.
He's got a lot of math to do. It's fine.
You have a calculator, buddy. You can punch him.
I can. Also, I made a mistake.
He rolled the wrong die.
Wow.
So many numbers.
You have a calculator, you know.
I believe in you, Nick. You're the math
That's
wizard. You can do it.
19.
You brought this upon yourself in character creation. You knew it was going to come to
Jesus. This man.
You chose this.
2 is
56.
okay. 56.
Did you add 9?
56 holy and slashing damage.
What happens?
The shadow of her sword extends into the halberd, swinging down and trailing a sort of a yellow film almost as it slashes, or smashing, cleaving, in fact, through the ankle of this thing. The thing kind of starts to fall towards her, and she'll brace the halberd on the ground, and it'll just fall down and impale itself. Again, stabbing itself through, and yellow filaments will just spread through the whole thing, and it will just sort of disintegrate, falling around her before it just kind of wisps away.
Left with just one massive skeleton fallen upon the floor where Calidar ripped it apart, and a few scraps of rotted yellowed bone around from the second. The antechamber here falls silent. Looking around the chamber, you can see there's 2 passages to the northeast and the northwest, short hallways that seem to lead to small adjoining chambers. You can also see, trained 19th level characters that you are, I'm not making this out, the perception DC is literally 25. But it's
in my sleep.
on purpose. On the southern end of the room, it's accentuated into a part of the design. It's not so much hidden as it is not obvious. There is another door, and it's even a little bit cracked from the damage the room has taken.
Do you think those are Sal's swords up there?
Well, he'd probably call them something of the sort. They're daggers, but he'd probably call them small swords.
You gonna talk to me about the yellow stuff?
Oh, yes, indeed. Ring. So last night, Omrath, my father,
So,
that you
what
call
were
him,
those
he actually
things?
kind of cut a deal with me. If I can get him out of Carcosa, he'll go and become a god, and it'll be my retirement plan. I'm rather on board with it.
So he wants to make you a god?
I don't believe that was explicitly on the table, but he wants to become a god, and it never hurts to have a god for a boss. That's not entirely true, actually. It's rather miserable an experience.
We're gonna talk more about this.
Right.
Your parents are I don't like them, any of them.
What? He's very nice. And he's not technically my father.
Technically?
the best kind. We should probably clear the place out a bit,
as you speak, you could easily look around the area and see the two northern tunnels simply lead to what look like chambers of respite. The one to the eastern end being a resting chamber adorned with thin sheets, mattresses, and elegant pillows. A place where one could easily curl up for a fine nap on a long journey. The western leading to a wide set of baths, but neither seeming to go any further.
Nope.
Leaving only the damaged southern door that may lead anywhere prudent.
No one sleep in those beds. Last time we came in one of those gates and we tried to go to sleep on something, only bad things happened.
Well, Rasheen's actually going to be pretty thorough. Like, she's going to spend like a minute, like, checking it out, but then she's going to actually go in there and, like, into the bedroom, check things out, look around, poke the pillows with her sword.
Maybe a perception check.
44.
As you poke around, underneath one of the pillows, there is a small crystal filter. Traced around with a gilded frame and a golden cap. Not super small, but not larger than the palm of your hand. An octagonal, angular flask that you can tell radiates an impressive holy energy.
Well, that must be handy. I'll check it out later.
Nightcap?
It does not appear to be easily openable. The cap on the top is not something to be quickly uncorked or unscrewed, nor is it even something that seems like it could be removed without destroying the bottle utterly. Whatever this is, it doesn't appear to be a potion or an elixir of any kind.
I'll take a look at it.
Give me an Arcana check real quick. Because it would be divine, but that's just because of its tradition, so your unified theory would let you roll Arcana.
And I got quick ID, so I could do it
Yeah, I know. You can do it real quickly while there's looking at the pools.
Well, not with that roll, because you know what? I have automatic Arcana now. We're not gonna roll. We're just gonna take my 37.
Okay, 37 is not going to identify it either, though. So
It's okay because I rolled a 2. So I'm just really bad. 35. I am. Why can't I ever
your
roll?
unified theory lets you kind of assess magic at its most fundamental level, but this is an artifact of incredible divinity, both in its energy and seemingly its purpose, which is really hard for you to assess from like an arcane standpoint.
Also, I'm just bad at this.
Also, you're just clearly bad at it.
I don't know why.
So while they were over there in the bedrooms, I'd be over here. Is there water in those pools?
Yes, there is a large pool divided by some low walls into 3 sections. The walls decorated with a bunch of imagery of bathing elves. This looks like it's clearly bats of some sort.
He's just gonna wash his hands. He's gonna get that bone dust off of there because he doesn't like. Nope.
Fair enough.
No good.
Just back in the main chamber, poking the bones with a stick.
But having looked through everything, there doesn't seem to be anything else in here. The bathroom doesn't even have anything where things could be hidden, unless you were to start prying open tiles or poking at random fixtures in the wall art.
Yes, like she will like run the. She will like just kind of splash some of the water. It's adamant. It's not rusting. Yeah. So it's just.
It is water.
It is water. Okay.
Detect
cool.
magic. Anything weird around here?
Still water.
Yeah, figured. Thought I'd. You know what? Worth asking.
And Rasheen's wounds would have closed significantly as the regenerate spell expired.
But as you splash through the water there and detect magic and throw this up and don't immediately pick up anything, almost as you start to lose interest and turn from the room, you would hear a voice from behind you coming from the pool. Hey, wait. It's perfectly warm. You can rest a moment. And turn around to see an elven woman sat in the central pool. Her arms up on the side, leaned up against the back. Family friendly means I can't describe any more of her really, save that she has very long blonde hair that looks like it may extend all the way down near to the seat of the pool where she's resting. And she looks at the group of you with a warm smile.
She wasn't there before.
No, she was not. You probably would have seen it.
Even with my true sight?
There was simply nothing there.
Excellent.
I think it is here that we will end our episode.
Oh. That's mean.
Cal, that's all you.
And then when we come back, next week to this mysterious woman in the pool. Why would you possibly not trust her? She's a perfectly nice elven lady inviting
The
you to come take
last
a bath
time I
with her.
interacted with an elven lady in one of these way stations, she was a ghost, and we about got crazied.
What are the odds this one's also a ghost? She looks like...
Calidar's going to say pretty good there, bud.
Don't lie to me.
What are the odds? I'm going to put it at least 75%.
Next week, when we return, we'll see not only what this might be, but also what lies on the far side of the portal, what may lie beyond in promise. And make sure, if you're interested in perhaps winning a free voucher for some really cool Norse Foundry stuff, you're around. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here at twitch.tv/UGT show. Check out our social media for more information about the giveaway in this coming week. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us. The stream didn't crash.
Yay! We did it!
We now have 2 episodes that aren't broken.
We're almost to half.
We're almost to a 50-50 ratio. Enjoy your weekends, everybody.
It's because I'm here.
We'll see you next time.
Razzmatazz.